I know I need to size up with you, and when I defang the Viper, trust me, ain't gonna come from nowhere. Jeff, I already put you out. I don't even know why you're out here right now. Keep on talking. Hey, do me a favor. Why don't you act like this is an AA meeting and you shut your mouth while I'm sharing with the group? And Mustafa, you out here, a boy among men. And I'm gonna tell you what, you got lucky at the Rumble, so I know you're gonna come out here and run your mouth about how bad you are. But let me give you a little bit of a reality check. You see, Mustafa, you said that my eyes don't lie. Well, your eyes don't lie either, because last week, they were closed real tight when I put your simple ass to sleep. And AJ, hey man, be honest with me. How's our old girl Wendy doing?
Welcome back to the Clark Street Wrestling Podcast. It's me and Feast, and with me as always is Devin. And yes, WrestleMania 38 is in the books. The most stupendous two-night event in history has just concluded, and the Monday Night Raw after Mania has just mere minutes ago concluded for us as well. So we can kind of fit some of that in as well into this. Yeah, this fresh. It just happened, you know, and literally we're jumping on here to do the show for y'all today. So yeah, man, it's going to be a lot of fun. But before we get into the event specifically, you know, the matches, we're going to break them all down. But before that, let's talk about just the experience of watching the show a little bit. Because we were talking a little bit before we got to recording about it, but I'm like, you know, let's share it with the audience, with the people listening, with the people watching, you know, how we experienced it. So I'll go first, I guess. For my experience was I saw it with family. You know, me and my brothers, we love wrestling. We grew up watching wrestling, so you know, it's usually a tradition for us to get together and watch wrestling. And for the two nights, you know, me and my youngest brother went over to Kamal, the middle brother's place, and went and watched it there. And it was awesome. It was fun. I mean, you know, details wise, there's no real details to give, except we just had a great time watching the show. You know, like beforehand, we were actually playing WWE 2K22. I feel like they should pay me because I've been talking up this game and how great it is. So y'all want to send Clark Street Wrestling Podcast a little something in terms of sponsorship? Hey man, bring it this way. But it's a great game. We had a great time playing it. I met my youngest brother, hadn't played it yet, so it was cool being able to play with him and like do matches and stuff like that. So that was cool. But yeah, you know, we were playing the game, and then we watched a little bit of the pre-show, and then, you know, there were no matches on pre-show this time around.
Right. Both nights.
Yep, 2-hour pre-show, no matches. It was literally just them selling the pay-per-view. So yeah, man, every match that was on this card was actually on the card. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, we just had a great time, you know, when we were cheering and standing up and fist pumping and just having a great time through the entire thing, man. It was fun. Like, it's going to be interesting listening to my side of the review. I'll say for myself, like, if you can't tell already just by hearing my voice, I was really into the show. So spoiler alert, I was really into the show. I was really into the two-night event. I feel like it just was a lot of fun. And I said as much going in, like the build-up, meh, you know, it wasn't so great, you know, on most of these. The main event, obviously, yes, they put a lot of energy into, you know, the best match ever in history of WrestleMania, basically the biggest match of WrestleMania history, Roman Reigns, the Tribal Chief, and the Beast Brock Lesnar. But, you know, the build-up overall, nah, but I said with WrestleMania, I go in and I know it's going to be fun. They're going to find a way to make it fun. You know, and sometimes years past, sure, there's some downs, but I just went into it just wanting to have a good time, and I did have a good time, and it was awesome. So we'll get into the details, but that's kind of my general thoughts. It was just a lot of fun. We just kicked back, had a good time, played some video games, watched the show. It was awesome. That was my experience. What about yours?
Oh, man, I had a great time on both nights. First night, watched the solo. But, you know, shout out to the Facebook group, Clark Street Community, man. You know, came in there, represent. We had the discussion thread going on WrestleMania for both nights. Had over 1,000 comments. A lot of engagement. You know, shout out to Dom. Shout out to Wendy. Shout out to Chris. Shout out to Pepsi Phil. You know, he was dropping some gems in there. You know, if you want to go in there, you know, you want to join our group, go ahead. Facebook community, Clark Street Community. You know, and check out some of the engagement. It was definitely some some good shit going on in there. But I had fun, man. And then the second night, watched with my family. I had my wife right there, who is a very casual viewer. So like she's, but even though she said she likes Bianca Belair, so it was cool seeing her perspective. And then I had my daughter, even though I got 3 daughters, only had one who participated. So shout out to my middle daughter. She came in and joined. She joined. And just seeing her react to some of the matches, especially to Johnny Knoxville and Sami Zayn, I got a kick out of that, man. But overall, I had a good time. Felt like a child again. Oh my God, it was. Yeah. I was 13. I was 13 years. I was 13 years old, all over again, bro. I couldn't believe it. Just to have that feeling.
Yeah, this card, it definitely had that nostalgia for sure.
Yep.
A lot of things happening here. It was like, wow, I cannot believe in 2022 we're seeing what we're seeing right now. Yeah. Like, it was crazy. So it was a great mix of nostalgia and the things for the future as well.
Yes.
So it was a fun show, fun card. We're gonna break it all down. Were there some missteps here and there? Sure, we'll see. We'll talk about some stuff. But overall, it was a fun show, definitely. From what you can tell from just listening to both of us talk about it, you can tell we had a lot of fun. So, with that said, let's jump right into this card, man. We got 2 cards, basically. Night 1, night 2. We're going to go in order, starting with WrestleMania Saturday. All right, and starting things off, WrestleMania Saturday. Am I looking at the right one? Yes, I am. Yeah. We had the Bloodline kicking things off. The Usos defending their SmackDown Tag Team Championships against Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs. So this matchup here, it was a fun matchup. I didn't know what to like. I didn't have a whole lot of anticipation for this match specifically. I feel like I predicted. I think you predicted the same, that the Usos were going to win. It felt like it wasn't the right time to take it off of the Bloodline, necessarily. They're the longest reigning SmackDown Tag Team Champions of all time. There's a lot going into this matchup. And, I brought it up like, hey, if you want to, actually, before I even get into this, because I was about to say who they should lose to would be a team like, say, MSK or Imperium. Before we get into WrestleMania, let me just bring this up too, because I feel like people want to know. All right.
Breaking news.
Standing limit. Breaking news. Before we get into all this, I gotta bring this up, and we'll do this real quick. So, I have been saying since they became 2.0 that Triple H, I'm just so loyal to that man, and I feel like because they removed him, or they've been seemingly removing everything that was associated with Triple H from NXT, the whole black and gold theme. William Regal's gone. A lot of the veterans are gone. I'm like, you know what? This ain't for me. I'm out. I'm done. And then I said also too, like, hey, let them bring Triple H back, and then I'm in. I'll at least give it a shot and see what's going on. And even before that, I did watch a show. I watched his first show, and then I forget what show that was now that I ended up seeing, if it was a pay-per-view or whatnot. But I had seen another one right before our anniversary episode that we did. So, and I talked about that, but then I wasn't able to get into it. So part of my experience watching WrestleMania, I went there not thinking we're going to watch anything but WrestleMania. We're going to chill. We're going to do what we do. We're going to watch WrestleMania. And then I'm talking to my brother Kamal, and, it was around that time. By the time I got to his place, it was like around the time that Stand and Deliver was getting ready to go on. And we're talking about it, and he's like, I feel what you feel about it, as far as, when it first started. Yeah. But then, seeing some of the stuff they've been doing in the past couple of weeks, I am kind of curious about what's going on, is what he was telling me. Like, he's curious about what was going on Stand and Deliver. I said, okay. And with him, it's like, all right, if he wants to do this, if he wants to check it out, okay. We're here. We're having a good time. I'm in a great mood.
Right.
Put it on. It's
WrestleMania week.
WrestleMania weekend, man. Put it on TV. It's totally cool. Let's do this. Fine. And I'm watching it, and I'm like, okay, cool. You had some good matches going on. The ladder match I knew was going to be great, as far as the North American Championship. The people you had in there, I saw the lineup even beforehand. And so being able to see it was really cool. I probably would have seen clips at some point, but I ended up watching that. And then the Tommaso Ciampa match, I knew it was going to be his last match because I had heard about it. We talked about it here on the show. How he did his promo and, showed the dates. His start date in NXT and Stand and Deliver's date, which kind of signified this was the end. So I was even that too. I was like, I kind of want to see this. Cause I saw Johnny's last night, and Tommaso is right there with me in my heart as far as like, being loyal to certain wrestlers there. So I'm like, oh yeah, okay, that's another reason why I should check this out. So saw Tommaso Ciampa's match, and then Triple H comes out, and I'm like, well, there it is. You know what I'm saying? All in the fields, just emotions running. And at first, actually, I was mad too because Tommaso Ciampa had lost. I'm like, no, don't do this to Ciampa. But I get it. I get what they're doing. You're building for the future. I get it. So, but then they gave him that moment. I was like, cool. At least they're doing this for Ciampa. And then Triple H's music hits. And I'm like, oh my God, don't do this to me. And I'm just like, all right, well, the emotions are there. I'm not like in tears or anything like that, but I am feeling it. And, seeing them, and it was so cool. Like Triple H just kind of just hugs him. And they keep talking, he's whispering in his ear, and King of Kings is playing, and then he tells Ciampa, he's like, "No, stay out here," and they're still playing moment. King of Kings, and to me it was like, "Hey man, you're the King of NXT, then now and forever, like you're that dude. You were this for this brand. Your time is up." But that's just how I took it. Is like he was the heartbeat of NXT. Yes. Like him and Johnny were the heart and soul of this brand, and so. Giving him that moment, I was like, oh, cool. And then being able to, just see Triple H again there, I was like, all right, I'm here, And then you texted me as well. Yeah. And I didn't see it until a little bit later. You texted me, you were like, Triple H showed up in 2.0. And I texted back the Steph Curry meme of I'm here and I'm back. So now, the fact that Triple H being there and, kind of just that moment, it kind of signified to me, like the respect for Triple H being able to have him be out there for Ciampa's moment. Made me intrigued again to want to see what's going on with 2.0, or at least with NXT. I don't like even saying 2.0. But just NXT in general. It might not even be 2.0 for much longer because Braun Breaker's entrance, he cut that sign in half too. So I don't know what the hell is going to happen with 2.0, but whatever. But long story short, it was an emotional thing. It was a cool moment. I applaud WWE for having the mindset to say, hey, let's have Triple H probably wanted that moment, and then they said, yeah, do it. And he did it, and it was great, and it was just honoring of Ciampa, so honoring of Hunter. I was like, cool, man. Like I'm more excited. Like I'm curious about Tuesday. I'm curious about Tuesday to see what happens following up with that. Now it's interesting because the main event was Braun Breaker and Dolph Ziggler, and I thought it was a fire main event, and it was a great match and a great showing for both guys.
Dolph Ziggler took it old school too with the trunks, with the little shorts.
That was cool. And again, like I said, Braun Breaker with the chainsaw, took the chainsaw to the NXT 2.0 sign. What does that mean? I have no idea. I'm curious if they're going to try to switch things up there, make it 3.0. Who knows? I don't know what's going on there. But Dolph, ended up retaining. But now anyone that's seen Monday Night Raw knows that Braun Breaker actually got his rematch on Raw, and now Braun Breaker is the new NXT champion. So he's a 2-time NXT champion. So that changed really quickly. But Braun Breaker had a great showing. Dolph Ziggler had a great showing, both on Stand and Deliver and at Raw. So that was great. It was a great show overall. I like Stand and Deliver. There were some parts where I thought, okay, it's not, I got to remind myself it's not black and gold. Like it's a little bit different, but I love the fact that Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai are tag team champions again. That's cool. Like I love that. I loved seeing Cameron Grimes win the North American Championship. Then the emotion he showed in the back afterwards. Mandy Rose retaining, I thought was cool. Like that's just great. Yeah. Overall, it was great. It was a great show. And like I said, Dolph Ziggler and Braun Breaker did a great job. So hopefully they build off the momentum. And I'm curious. I'm curious if there are going to be any kind of changes, because it did seem a little bit interesting having Braun Breaker do that. Like with the black and gold sign, it was clear. It was like, hey, we're shifting from black and gold to 2.0. It's over. Right. So this is like, was it just like a cool thing to do for an entrance, or are they signifying a new era for NXT again? So I would be curious to see what happens.
I'll probably lean with cool entrance.
Yeah, you could have done something else though. But
Yeah.
either way, that's not what this podcast is necessarily about. To debate that necessarily. I just want to bring that up because I know it's kind of interesting hearing me talk about NXT 2.0.
I know, man. I'm just sitting back listening, man. I'm like, I don't want to interrupt. Just keep going. I want to hear your perspective.
It was fun. So
overall
that was
great,
part of
real
my
quick.
experience.
Overall great. If you can, since you watched the whole, Stand and Deliver.
I'd give it a B. I'd give it a B. I think the show was a B. I think they did a great job. I think that who's his name? Tony D'Angelo? Is that his
Tony
name?
D.
The guy that beat Tommaso Ciampa?
D.
I think he's okay. He didn't I don't know. The finish felt a little flat to me, honestly. Like the way he beat him, I think it was just like a kick to the head. It didn't seem like a finisher. When it happened, I was like, is that his finish? So I was a little bit like,
But he got like this swinging net breaker finish.
Yeah, but he didn't hit him with that to finish the match. So I thought that was a little off. The women's match, the main championship match there was a strong match, but I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I guess I was kind of expecting Cora Jade to have that be her moment. Yeah. And then Mandy Rose retaining was cool. Like I'm happy for Mandy, but it felt like maybe it was time to give it to Cora Jade. I don't know. It just felt a little off, but I was happy for Mandy. Yeah. And then the main event was fire. The oh my god, MSK becoming tag team champions again was fire. That match was sick.
That tag team, that tag match.
That was awesome. That was awesome. That match and the North American Champion match, A's. There were A's, and the main event was A. It's just the women's match, and I wish that the women's tag team match was on the show, not on pre-show. Like that felt like it deserved to be on the show.
Oh yeah, you're right. That was on the pre-show. I did watch the pre-show. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a little off to me, but overall, I felt like it was a really good show. So I give it a B. I give it a solid B.
That's what's up.
Yeah. So that was part of the experience of watching of WrestleMania weekend for me. Was a surprise. I'm watching NXT Stand and Deliver, and it was cool. It was fun. So, but all right,
look at that.
now back
progress. I like that.
Progress. Yes.
I'm a progressive tribal chief of podcasting.
Wait, what?
I said I'm a progressive tribal chief of podcasting.
Oh, geez. Somebody watch Raw. Somebody watch Raw. All right, let's get into it. Again, the most stupendous two-night event, starting with Saturday night. The Usos defending against Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs. Devin, why don't you take this one, man? I felt like I spoke a lot on the NXT one, man. So let's switch it up. Let's have you talk about this matchup right here.
This match was just cool, but unfortunately, before it, as soon as it hit like pretty much second gear, that's when the unfortunate news for Rick Boogs, he got injured. Yeah. Took on both of the Usos, and then basically his knee buckled. I think it was the left knee, I believe.
I think it was his right knee.
Right.
If I'm remembering right, because I feel like the way that it was his knee buckled.
Knee buckled, right
or left, his knee.
Right. I thought maybe it was a work because it was just setting up maybe later on down the match that he'll finally pick him up.
Story too earlier.
On
SmackDown.
Yeah.
He was injured. That was the story.
Yep.
But then he faked, or he wasn't faking the injury, but he tricked the Usos because the Usos thought, oh, you're hurt, but we're going to challenge you. And if you win, then you get this match. And then Rick Boogs unwrapped his knee saying, oh, I'm fine. But now this happens. It's like, so I thought the same as you.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So when that happened, I'm like, oh, shit, was that work? And then all of a sudden, maybe 90 seconds later, they go into the finish. Usos do the 1D to Shinsuke, 1, 2, 3, it's over. But yet you see Boogs over there off to the corner, and he's there with medical refs. I'm like, oh shit, this look kind of serious. Yup. And then we come to find out, he was actually injured.
Needs surgery.
Yup. So he tore his quad and.
Yeah, I just know about his knee. About his knee that he needs surgery on the knee. I don't know if it's more than that. That really sucks. But they said he's going to be out for a little bit. So, it's unfortunate. They have great chemistry. They had some momentum too. The crowd loves them. Pat McAfee loves them, and just it's going to be sad not to see Rick around, but he'll bounce back. He'll bounce back. He'll be back, stronger than ever. So shout out to Rick Boogs. Hopefully heals up quick. But Yeah, man. Overall, like the match was what it was. For the unfortunate injury, they had to cut it a little bit short. But I mean, I feel like they were going to win anyway. It's just they had to kind of cut some things out.
Well, maybe because you saw the gear Rick Boogs and Shinsuke had, like the Mike Hart eliminated gear. So
I saw that right away, man. I'm like, oh, okay, marketing, just all right.
Right. I was like, look, because came out with some interesting colors, very loud colors.
Very.
Orange and yellow. I'm like, that's an odd color just to be wearing for wrestling.
See it everywhere.
Right. And then I'm like, hey, Mike's Hard Lemonade.
Signs everywhere. Oh my goodness. Hey man, gotta pay the bills. Gotta pay the bills.
Right. Oh man.
Oh man. But solid matchup overall. All right, let's go to the next one here. Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin with Madcap Moss. Oh man, I actually really enjoyed this matchup.
I did too, for sure, for some strange reason.
Well, I feel like they did, even though it was I feel like in the build-up they could have played this up more.
Yeah.
But the streak was interesting. They brought up undefeated, which we talked about a little bit here. And the fact that no one has ever kicked out of the end of days.
Yes.
Ever.
Yes.
And, again, they didn't really talk much about it. Like, even when it all was going down during the show, Michael Cole was like, I think that's the first. I'm like, God, no,
it is. It is.
Like,
all them video packages. You couldn't give me a video package of no one kicking out of the end of days.
He's hit with the end of days and how he pinned them. I'm like, show that over and over again. Do a counter, like,
yes,
make it
one. Just like the last person to pin Roman, guess who it was? Happy Corbin, people.
Dude, that's crazy. They should have brought all of that up. That's a crazy fact. I didn't even know that, to be honest with you.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Was that during like the whole dog food thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That is insane.
2019.
That's missed opportunity. Missed opportunity. But even without that, like the whole time, that's something that I was thinking about. Like, oh my, like, is he gonna hit the end of days? And if he does, Drew McIntyre is going to kick out. But it's gonna be amazing to see that happen. And like, it was just so well done how when Happy Corbin hit it and Drew McIntyre does kick out, his reaction to it was so perfect. He's like, what? What? No. What? What? I'm like, oh my God.
No one kicks out.
No, yeah. He's looking at the referee. What do you mean? What do you mean? Like, this always worked. What do you mean? It was so perfect. Oh man.
Yeah.
Then, it's like he's like doesn't know what to do. And then, he got caught with the bro kick. Like that was it. So, or the Claymore, sorry, bro kick. He's got hit with the Claymore, and that was it. So I thought story-wise for me, that helped make it a lot of fun. Madcap got involved a little bit, but not that much. There was one point where it was Happy Corbin. He had control of Drew McIntyre, and then Madcap stood up on the apron and was cheering on Happy Corbin. And then Happy Corbin's like, what are you doing? Get out. And he's like, well, you're winning. Keep going. You're winning. You're doing great. And he turns around, and then Drew's right there, and then he takes him out. Right. I was like, oh, man. So there's going to be something there probably on SmackDown. They'll talk about that or mention it somehow. But, overall, I think it was a solid match. And then at the end where, Madcap was on the apron again after Drew had won, and Drew has the sword. He's looking at him, and it's like, okay, we keep teasing this damn sword. What is going to happen? He's not going to kill somebody with this thing, so what are we doing? But then he raises the sword up, and he swings down, and he cuts the rope, and everything just falls apart. And I'm like, what the fuck? What just happened? What is happening? It was cool. I thought it was cool. Like, I actually enjoyed it. It was something.
It was okay. My wife and daughter saw the replay on night 2 of it. They was like, oh, wow. So they got a kick out of that.
Right, right. You can see the people in the audience, too. Like, their reaction as well was like, oh, we didn't expect that. Because, I mean, he's been teasing this. Maybe he was going to swipe at his head, but he would duck or whatever. He would do something like that. But to cut the ropes in half, 2 of those ropes in half, you're thinking, wait, so now what's happening with the rest of the show? Because he just destroyed the ring. Like, what are they going to do? But that crew worked quick, man.
Man. Shout out to the work crew, man.
Yeah. So they did a phenomenal job on that. So yeah, man, I thought it was a fun match. It was totally cool. But anything to add on that one before we move on?
Man, I think you made a strong point about building the feud, stronger, especially on Baron Corbin's side.
Yeah.
Make that a driving point of no one kicking out the end of days. Like that was a huge missed opportunity. And, since you got the tribal chief just being this, megastar, you could have even used the last person to pin Roman was actually Happy Corbin.
Mm-hmm.
So that could have been like, oh, I'm okay. I'm a little bit more interested in this match now.
Yeah.
But within the match, within that vacuum, it was decent. I respected the work. So I was like, this was a decent match. I liked it. And then when Drew kicked out, I was like, okay, he's going over. So it was, solid match.
Definitely. It was fun. It was a lot of fun there too. All right. Then we had our first celebrity match of the weekend. It was The Miz and Logan Paul versus the Mysterios. All right, man. You take this one, man. What do you think of this match?
Oh, this caught me off guard. Man, shout out to the celebs lately coming in WWE prepared. Like they're coming in prepared, putting in the work, and you're gonna respect the work. Just shout out to Logan Paul. Even the gear came out with the Miz.
Pikachu inspired gear.
Yeah, I'm like, he looks like a WWE superstar. He had this hedgehog jacket with all this spikes or something.
It was Pikachu. Pikachu. He wore that. He had the Pikachu card.
Right,
that was
the rare. Yeah. Right. It was a rare Pokemon card. Like he's the only one that has it. So I'm like, just straight up heel, just all blinged out, decked out too, so everybody can see it, man.
Yep.
And he was playing to the crowd too, doing heelish things. He was working the crowd, and this was a fun match. I think this really got the crowd going too. So respect to Miz, the Mysterios, they did great work, man. This was just a fun match, man. I had too much fun.
Yeah,
still didn't get what I wanted though for the Mysterios, by the way, but it's coming.
It's coming. Dominik still has not turned on his father, which is what on how do we say this? Because for you, it's Eddie Guerrero's is real father, but
Uncle Eddie's son.
That's Eddie's son. Oh man, this was another one where it was entertaining. Little bit of details here. It was cool seeing Logan Paul go to work and show that he's been putting in some work and training a little bit, much like Bad Bunny the year before. You could see he took it seriously and was pulling off some moves. I mean, one of the biggest moments of the night is when Rey Mysterio was going to do the Three Amigos. It got interrupted, and then Logan Paul did the Three Amigos, and the crowd was not having it. They were like, no, boo, no, don't you dare. And not only did he do that, he went up top. He did Eddie Guerrero's shimmy. And that, honestly, for me, I actually was kind of like, oh, I like this. I like this.
Yeah.
He won me over with that moment.
Yes.
When he went up to the top and he was doing this, I was like, oh, he could be a really good heel. If he takes this seriously, if he wanted to stick around, that was just such a great heel move because he knows the crowd is pissed.
Yeah.
So to put a little extra stank on it, he gets up there and he shakes his shoulders like Eddie Guerrero. That crowd was like, no. And then he hit the frog splash. I'm like, oh,
and it was a pretty damn good frog splash, too.
He did a good job. Man did a good job. He did a split at one point, showing his flexibility. I was like, what is going on? So that was cool. But then, so you got in the chaos of the back and forth. The Mysterios didn't see that Logan Paul that Miz had tagged Logan Paul. So they did the Stereo 619. And then you had the two frog splashes from Ray and Dom. And shout out to Dom, too. He did a great job. He had a great little moment in the beginning where he was just going off, like corkscrew moves and stuff like that. Tandem, Hurricane Rana into arm drag. It was cool. It was great. So one of his best matches I've seen so far. And so at the end, you had it looks like Rey Mysterio was going to get the pin, but Miz picks up Dom, slams him on Rey Mysterio. Then he picks up Rey Mysterio. He hits him with his finisher. What's the name? I'm blanking out on the name of his finisher.
The Star
Skull Crusher finale.
Skull Crusher finale. That's right.
Thank you. Hits him with the Skull Crusher finale. 1, 2, 3. Hey, we got the win. Cool. We're celebrating. And then Miz's face changes and he looks. And at first I didn't catch it. At first I thought maybe someone was walking down that he didn't like or whatever. I'm like, what is going on? But I'm like, he's looking at Logan and he grabs Logan, puts him in the Skull Crusher finale. And what's so funny about this, because I saw it on a replay, Logan Paul has no idea, even to the point where when he was in the Skull Crusher finale, he's still smiling. Like, he's like, yeah, this is great. And his arm's like, oh, what are you doing? He's like, yeah, this is great. All right. I don't think he realized what was happening until it happened, because he's smiling the whole way down. And then they cut away later.
I guess this is a WWE thing or something.
Like, what? That's hilarious. And then, yeah, man, so Miz, he does that and he gets up. Yeah, this is my house. Yeah, what? Looking at the ref, looking at the crowd. Yeah, and the crowd is going nuts. They love the fact that he did this to Logan Paul. He hugged some guy in the stands. I don't know who that was to him, but somebody he knows hugged him. And they're like, yeah. He's blowing kisses to Logan Paul. Logan Paul, after the show, too, they caught up with him. And they were asking him, why do you think Miz did that? And he's like, maybe because he's jealous, because he saw what I was doing. He saw how athletic I am. He sees me, and I think he was talking about his physique. Like, he didn't got a physique like me. So he's like, you know what? He's like, fuck you, Miz. Yeah, and they had to blurt it out.
He was like, yeah.
Fuck you, Miz.
Yeah, fuck you, Miz.
Yeah. And I'm just like, wow, okay. So we'll see. Like, maybe WrestleMania Backlash, we're going to get Logan Paul versus The Miz. I mean, that could be in the cards. But overall, I feel like it was entertaining. Everybody just did an awesome job. Again, shout out to Dominik Mysterio, because I thought his wrestling in this one was really sharp. It was really cool.
Good call.
And just like you said, man, it caught me off guard, like how good the match ended up being. For sure.
Right.
So, yeah, man. Great match.
Putting in work. Who knew?
So now, to me, we get into where it started, because to your point, things picked up and the crowd was a little bit more elevated after that, the tag match between Logan Paul, Miz, and the Mysterios. And then we transition into the Raw Women's Championship match between Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch. Go ahead, man. Talk about it.
Oh, my God. The story of the 26 seconds for Bianca Belair losing the SmackDown Women's Championship at SummerSlam to Becky Lynch. This was the final chapter, and this was a beautiful storytelling match. Love the entrances on both of the ladies. You got big time Becks coming, look like an Escalade, big suburban Escalade. It was a huge truck.
Before that too, with the Marvel themed video, showing all her moments, but like the Marvel logo, and you see all the scenes. Oh, I loved it. Dude. We marked that. And when we were watching it, I said, she's doing the Marvel intro as her intro. Just marked out. Nerded out. It was great.
Oh, man. Yeah. Comes out, Escalade, stops at the top of the ramp. She comes out, decked out in this nice ring gear. I don't even know how to describe it. So
yeah, it's like it was like black, like vinyl, with the shoulder pads were like pointed out, like something out of a fashion show. And then like she had the long train too that was going down. It was like something out of a runway look.
Yes.
Like it was amazing.
Something you see at the model show. Fashion show.
Fashion show. It was like some straight up fashion show with the new haircut.
She had a mean strut
shades.
Too. Right, with the shades. And I like what she had when she took the shades off. Just super serious.
Eye makeup.
Eyeshadow. It was decked out. And then Bianca's interest getting ready to happen.
Texas Southern.
You see a marching band come out, but not just any marching band. It's a HBCU march. What are we doing? What are we doing? What?
Man,
they come out doing her music with the drums, percussions. Oh, man. You know what I'm saying? Then the music hits. You hear the hair sound, and she comes out like a marching band jacket on, and she's doing her skip. Yeah, man. I'm like, oh,
she looked like a mega superstar.
Superstar.
Yeah.
All right, and this match did not disappoint. I love the in-ring psychology, just bringing of what happened before from SummerSlam. Bianca went for the handshake, and Becky, she laughed and like, get that shit out of here. And then she went for the deck, and man, and she was like, oh no, she's going for the manhandle slam. Like, nope, Bianca learned from reversed it, and then man, Becky reversed it again. She like pulled her hair, reversed it again, manhandle slam. I'm like, oh shit, are we fucking doing this again? That's how it got me, because I'm thinking about the 26 seconds. Like,
dude, the guy in green
this was a smart play.
Was saying, he was like, no,
not again.
No.
Right, not again. Not again. I can't take this. But
oh man, it was crazy.
This was just smart storytelling, man. That's how you get a crowd suckered in like that.
Yeah.
And because you pull stuff from the past like that, they made it really sink home, man, in this match. So, and I love the back and forth. I love how Becky was using Bianca's hair, to her advantage, slinging it against the stairs. It was just a great storytelling match, man. I had fun, man. All the way down to the finish, the KOD, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, it was so smooth.
By the way, that manhandle slam on the steel steps from Becky.
Ooh.
Shout out to Chris, because I think how high he went? I think he went pretty high, 75%.
Oh, nice.
Manhandle slam. Okay. I actually went a little bit higher. I went 85%.
Hey.
Dom, he went, I think he went like 30, but then he was like, nah, 22, because we're talking about Bianca. He said 22 to Bianca. Yeah, but
I love that.
That was fun, engaging. Shout out to the Facebook group. Having fun with that, man.
That's awesome. Yeah, man. Oh, man. My score on that, let's see. Oh, the one on the steel steps. I felt that one. I'm like, oh, this could be it. This could be it. I'm going to go 90. I'm going to go 90%.
Okay. Hey, I respect
power.
that.
Yeah.
I went 85, bro.
That was
a strong one.
Be it. Yes. Put some stank on it. Oh, man. Yeah. This match, well said. Great matchup. Great entrances overall. They both looked like $1 million. The atmosphere was right. The crowd was cheering even before the match got started. You could feel the anticipation from the crowd. They were chanting. There were dual chants going on, and even I think it was Corey Graves would say, "You can feel it in the atmosphere." And I'm like, "Oh man, okay, this is the first big fight feel match we have so far, at WrestleMania." So it was great. I felt like they stole the show. I felt like they went out there and they put on an amazing performance. The storytelling was on point to what you said. Just some great moments overall. That beginning moment really did get me too, where the manhandle slam when she pulled her hair, I was like, wow, this is what we're doing. Okay. So that was crazy. Crazy moment too, later on in the match. Looked like Becky was going for the Molly go round, but instead she hit her with like a kick that hit Bianca in her eye, and maybe like cracked her orbital, but she's got a black eye now. We've seen it now.
It's swollen.
It's swollen. So yeah, man. But shout out to Bianca for being able to muscle through that, because that's tough. Getting hit like that, and then having that happen to you. Oh wow! I just found out who won the national championship. Cool. All right. So I just held down. I saw the notification. I'm happy about it. One of the guys on. So for those y'all, listen, I'll just throw this in there. National championship. Spoiler if you don't want to find out, but Kansas is your new national champion. I'm a big fan of Kansas. I'm actually a big fan of one of the kids on there. He's a Nigerian, Bachi, I think is his name. But I started watching him last year a little bit. I just like his intensity. So anyway, shout out to him. But yeah, man, it's great for them. But going back to this matchup here, so yeah, just that moment was crazy. And shout out to Bianca for being able to tough it through that. Like you said, the manhandle slam, that was crazy on the steel steps. And then just the transition at the end there with like Bianca was dead weight, just dead weight. And Becky's like, oh my God, like, what do I have to do to finish you? So she's trying to pick her up with all their strength, just struggling. And Bianca's doing a great job, just like nothing, just not helping her at all. Pick her up. She's like gone. She's out. And then she finally gets her up. She tries to do it, but Bianca hops up and does a backflip out of the manhandle slam. Becky's like, oh, what the hell? And then she gets picked up and put in the KOD and then seamlessly slammed with the KOD. Like, it was the most picture-perfect transition and the most picture-perfect version of the KOD Bianca's probably ever done, because it was just so clean and smooth. And I jumped up right when she hit it. I was like, oh, this is it. This is it. And then the ref counts, and she's into it. 1, 2, 3. And I was like, yeah. I got up. I was like, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. So it was great. So it was great seeing that for Bianca. Shout out to Becky Lynch, putting on a banger of a match. They just did an amazing job. There's so much fun watching that matchup. Yeah, they killed it. They killed it. I was like, man, it's going to be hard to follow this because this matchup here, really did a great job overall. I'm even looking at my notes too, just making sure. Oh, one thing too I noticed. So during the entrance, I saw it, and I saw it later on too. On the back of Bianca's tights, she put the words Becky's, and then had lips on the side too. So Becky's lips right there on the back of her tights, signifying, Becky's lips kissing her ass. So I was like, okay, I like this touch. I like this touch here. So I don't know if people caught that.
Wow, I didn't count. Yeah, man. Good eye right there, my guy. Yeah, I didn't.
I wrote that down. I'm like, I want to remember that because I thought that was really cool that she did that. Yeah. And then to your point too about the storyline, like there were times where Becky was going after her throat, like she threw her onto the ropes, attacking the throat, and Bianca sold that because that was a part of the story as well. So yeah, just great storytelling overall between these two women, and they just did a masterful job. So
picture perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, 2-0 at WrestleMania.
Yeah. Just she's right
Checking
now.
That box of the Four Horsemen too. Who she got one more to go.
She got one more. I think the only person she hadn't beat yet is Charlotte. I think Charlotte's the only one. So we'll see. We're kind of going that route,
right?
Yeah, man. So great match, and we'll see what's to come. Right now there wasn't much on Raw short of just her coming out and just saying, hey. As hard as I fought to win the championship, but then I lost it, and I realized, like, hey, it could be gone just like that. So this time around, I'm going to fight. I'm going to do whatever it takes to hold on to it. And it's just like, okay, let's go. Let's do this. So she is definitely, to me, the face of the women's division right now in WWE. It's undeniable. For me, this match, too, kind of put her in the category of, like, Sasha's my favorite. She's number one. But I feel like Bianca, I was so behind her and just so amazed by her that it kind of put her like right there with Sasha for me in my mind. And when it comes to ability, when it comes to skills, there's nobody. Like, I don't think there's anyone that can do all the things she can do. The closest is Charlotte, I would say, as far as that ability. But Bianca is kind of
she got
on a different level.
Yeah, star power, just that charisma she has. So
yeah, she's doing 450s, with ease, from the second rope. Like, just come on,
unify
man.
the belts, get it over with, make her the unified champion.
This might be where we're going. I'm saying. But on to the next match, which had no belts on the line, just pure, surrealness, though, going on in this matchup here. So this matchup was billed as Seth Rollins versus To Be Announced. And there were all sorts of rumors. Probably the worst kept secret in the world. But
it was.
There was some stuff online that kind of threw some other names out there that it could have been. The most interesting one throughout the day for me was Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt's name kept coming up, and even Bray Wyatt was putting stuff out there, about he's at Dallas, that him and Seth, like, one day they're gonna rekindle what they had, and they're gonna go back to that. And I'm like, what? Like, he was sharing praise on him, and I'm like, and I'm reading it to my brothers. I'm like, is this gonna be the Fiend? The Fiend versus Seth and Wrestle? Like, what is about to happen? So, I was all sorts of confused by the time this matchup came around, but I had so much excitement. Like, I was just like, oh my God, I cannot wait. Who is this gonna be? And then coming off of that, the just amazing women's match that we just saw, and then leading off into this, I said, oh my God,
another level. We hit another level from that. I thought, man, we're gonna calm down point. Like, nah, another level.
Yeah. So then you got this chorus, right? Just this chorus with boas and glasses, and they're all singing the song. Oh, and I'm like, I'm like loving it. I'm like, and I got up. I'm like, And so, they hit his music. He comes out. He's in this blue furry thing, man, like just loving life, just cackling, having a good time. And he's singing, they're singing, the crowd's singing, everybody's into it. He goes down, he's in the ring. Then, the music stops, and he's just like, who's it gonna be? Don't make me wait. Don't make us wait. Who's it gonna be? Come on. He takes off his coat, he throws it, and immediately when he throws it, boom! And it's just like, oh, okay. Pyro up the ramp, the lights go out, everyone's like, oh, what's it gonna be? Oh! Then you just hear, doom, doom. There is more than just one royal family. I was like, oh, right.
I marked out. I jumped up. I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
This is happening.
It's happening. And I just, my brain, even to this moment, I'm still
it's
having
hard to fathom.
Processing this.
Right. Even Monday Night Raw,
still.
It's weird.
It's weird. Like, what? And not just the fact that Cody Rhodes is there, with the music,
everything from AEW,
with the entrance up which we talked about it, and
we called it. I said to a goddamn T, we called it. All the pyro. He's gonna have all the pyro, middle of the stage.
He's coming through the middle. He's coming through the floor. Whatever they gotta do, he's coming through the middle. They did it. I'm like,
even on Monday Night Raw, they did. I'm like, how they gonna do this? Like, goddamn it, I'm coming out that middle of
happening. It's not my contract. Dude, man. It was so great. And then he comes out and the crowd is going nuts, and then he's looking around, and it's just like, wow. And just that alone, like, they could have just done that. And I was just like, okay, this is amazing. Then they went out there and they had a fire match. These two put it all out there.
Welcome back to the big leagues, bitch.
Oh, God, yeah. Yup. Seth was letting him know, like, I'm not just laying down for you, man. You're in my house now. Dude, Seth hit him with, he's one of the best wrestlers in the world. And there are times where I say, you know what, he's the best right now for me in the world. Because some of the things that he does, like that reverse superplex into that, like, reverse superplex Falcon Arrow
whatever the fuck that was, right?
Was insane. Like, that was crazy. Cody doing the Cody cutter, like
my
springboard was insane.
I made a joke. It's like, AEW moves ain't gonna work in this house.
Right? Nope, not today. Then you had the transition of Seth was gonna do the pedigree, then Cody reverses it, then Cody gets the arms, and everyone's like, oh, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. So, but then he didn't, and then Seth later on would hit him with the pedigree, so that was awesome. Cody hit Crossroads, Seth kicked out, then later on, just, again, back and forth. And that was a point too, like you were saying, Seth was doing the banter, talking to him, like, this is my house, this is my world, and all that. Then he starts kicking him in the head, just kicking his forehead. And later you saw he had hematoma on his head, like he was swelling.
He swole.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my God. So, and then that just done. Cody was done at that point and said, fuck this. Grabbed him, crossroads. Grabbed him again, crossroads. Picked him up again and said, nope, hold on. Then homage to his daddy. Punch. Did the hands. Like, everyone was like,
I was like, bionic elbow.
Boom. I'm like, wow, this is great. Picked him up again, picked up Seth. One more crossroads. Boom. 1, 2, 3. Holy shit. Cody Rhodes gets a win over Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. Dude.
I was speechless. Because I was like, this is not really happening. I'm dreaming. Like, to see him in a WWE event, and of all events, WrestleMania. And that American Nightmare seeing it on that stage, the star spread.
Look good.
Oh, all the pyro.
Lander jacket.
Oh, yes. And, shout out to Seth, because I enjoyed the facial expressions that he had when Cody was coming down the ramp. He laughed. He was like, ha, ha, ha. And he was like, motherfucker.
Right. Coming to my house.
Right. Like, he just had this stone cold stare at this point. He was like, I was like, wow, this is happening.
Yeah.
This is happening.
Yeah.
And then, shout out to Cody, man. He a smart businessman. He came back and because he learned the business from AEW. He was an EVP, learned some things, some operations, and now he brought some of that education to WWE to construct a contract to bring everything that he trademarked.
Shout out to him, man. Shout out to him. It's just crazy. And seeing him on Raw, like, he opened Raw. Like, he opened up Raw. Like, that's insane. That's insane to me to see him at Monday Night Raw and just know this is AEW's guy. Like, he helped build that company, right? And then he decided, you know what? I'm moving on. I'm moving on. And he explained, he's like, people think the decision was hard. It wasn't. It was easy. And then he goes into his reasons why. And, it's shout out to him for being very professional about it when it comes to, like, not taking a dig necessarily at AEW for whatever reason.
Yep.
Like, he's keeping it to how personal it is for him and his family that he do this. He was talking about his dad at Madison Square Garden in 77, and he held up the championship. But then 8-year-old him asked his dad, like, about the moment, and saying, wait, you're champion like Hulk Hogan? And, his dad says, explain to him the rules of the champion's advantage, where because he won a count out, it actually wasn't his, that he actually wasn't champion. And so, and Cody's emotional during this whole thing. And he said he made a vow then, 8-year-old him, that he was going to win that championship, give it to his father, and tell the world that no one could take this from him now. Now, unfortunately, Dusty has since passed, and so he's not able to fulfill that dream, or can he? Because, he may not be able to give it to the American Dream, but that championship can go around the waist of the American Nightmare. And so for him, this is like him trying to fulfill that promise to win the big one, to win the WWE undisputed Universal Championship at one point in his career before it's all said and done. And so to me, that was like, wow, I'm watching this man first. Like, again, kudos on the promo, because it was emotional in the most Cody of ways.
It was a Cody promo.
Very, very emotional, very, very personal, and that was awesome. And then to talk about the championship, and we all know this is the night where we're gonna see the champion, the unified champion. It was like, okay, I like this. And then you got the music hits and the Seth Rollins and the crowd again singing along with the song, and he comes out. Yep. And the crowd is into it. I'm like, oh my God. And so he gets in there, and they're just looking at each other, standing at each other. And then Seth just extends a hand.
No, it was Cody extends the hand.
Oh, yeah, Cody extended the hand. That's right. Yep. That's right. Cody extended the hand. Yeah. Because he threw away the mic. He didn't even say nothing. He just dropped the mic. He looked at him. Cody extended his hand. Seth looked at him, and then he took his hand. They shook hands. Then he whispered, he said, "Welcome home." And then Cody's looking like, yeah, but then he's questioning it. He doesn't trust that.
Because he's laughing too.
Right.
So Seth doing the Seth laugh. Welcome home.
Like, what does this mean? But it was awesome. It was an awesome moment. It was an awesome match. It was an awesome moment. It was a WrestleMania worthy moment for sure.
It was. That's definitely, you can say, what's one of your top WrestleMania moments. Seeing Cody debut WrestleMania 38, being the surprise, wrestler for Seth Rollins. So it was just amazing. So shout out again to Cody. Shout out to Seth. Put on an amazing match. It was a little botchy here and there, but still, I chalked it up to nerves. It was just good seeing him in the ring. Let's see what's gonna happen going forward. We'll see what's on the horizon. But
talk about the future.
Right. It's gonna be a fun ride. I think it's gonna be a fun ride. Now we got AEW Cody in the WWE world, and we're gonna see how that blends.
I'm still processing. Processing.
Yep. Because I was like, wow, AEW promo because that was a promo for if you watch AEW, right? That is all AEW promo right there, just from the cuff and just very emotional.
Yep.
And the crowd was in it too. So him telling the story, what's his mission, and this is going to be a fun ride.
But you know what's interesting about that though, when you say that, like one criticism that we have had around AEW is that they don't do enough of that. Like as far as outside of the wrestling, like having the promos and the storytelling happen more so through promos.
Mm-hmm.
And, so Cody was probably the most WWE AEW guy, as far as cutting those promos like he did, because you do see that. I mean, look at like Edge, in the promos that he cuts.
Tell the story.
He tells a story, like that's a thing that they do a lot in WWE that sometimes people are critical on the other side that, hey, there's not enough wrestling. There's so many promos. So I feel like Cody, what he's doing does fit into WWE from the standpoint of him being so personal and so real with this promo. Look at what makes Roman Reigns promo so great is it's him. It's not an act. I saw the evil. What's funny is right during the show, at certain points, I was trying to finish up that evil documentary.
Yeah.
And so I was seeing some of that too, building up to the main event, which is kind of interesting. We'll talk about that.
Right.
But that's another one where you just hear him, it's him talking when he's talking. It's not some character. It's just so real and personal to him. The whole tribal chief thing, that's part of his culture, so it's I think Cody, what he's doing, and then being just the lineage, the Rhodes family lineage, it all does fit really well. It's just so surreal because we've spent, those of us that have been watching AEW, you see the way that company was built and how much a part of it Cody was, to the point where some people thought Cody is like in charge, just like it's Cody and Tony, like the two of them are the guys in charge of this whole thing. Right. And so for one of the guys who people think is like pulling the strings, one of the EVPs, to leave, it's like, what? And then bring everything he did there into a WWE ring and into WrestleMania. That was insane. That was insane.
Shout out to Vince, man, because Cody said he came to my house. Him and Bruce came to my. They flew down to my house, and we talked. And Vince said, "Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it."
Wow. That's insane. Hey man.
This is weird in 2022. I'm just gonna say that. he is weird in 2022.
Facts.
Yeah. And by the way, too, for Cody, it's weird that in AEW, he put a stipulation in that, if he was to lose against MJF, he couldn't go for the AEW world, like their main championship. And now,
that's the main focus.
That's the main focus.
I think, but listening to the story, I think it's because for him now, that championship, the WWE championship, is the same championship. That lineage is the same lineage. That's the one his father won but didn't win.
Yeah.
You know, he never, AEW didn't exist. Like, that championship is something different. It's got a new history.
Right,
but
right. It's just having
technically his father touched the hands of this championship, you know, which, you know, WWF, WWE, it's, so I think it's more personal there. Whereas with AEW, it's maybe because I'm EVP. I don't want it to be seen as like I'm getting this because, you know, I'm putting all the focus on me. So I'm just going to keep myself away from that championship, and I'm going to make the TNT championship just as big. That's the plan. But yeah, I think that's a great point. You know, overall, it's just, without him saying it, the way I'm taking it is he's that WWE championship is more personal to him than the AEW championship.
Well, yeah,
that's just what it is.
That's how I read it. You know,
right. And I know some people might
maybe it's just our perspective of how we're viewing this. It could be different from it. Yeah, but that's how I see it.
Yeah, because I don't see another way to look at it but that he does put that in much higher regard than he did the AEW championship. So, and it's just what it is for him personally.
Yeah, just say what it is.
You know, so yeah, it is what it is. No disrespect to the AEW championship because it is what it is. It's cool, but for him, that's the story. Seems like he's telling. So we'll leave it at that. All right. Speaking of championships, the SmackDown Women's Championship was on the line here. So following Becky and Bianca, following Cody and Seth
on this mega wave of momentum.
We have all this momentum. And then we go into the SmackDown Women's Championship, Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey. So, all right, man. Tell us, man, what was your experience of this match?
This is the worst match of the night. I'm just going to say that. Just not going to miss my words. I'm going straight to the fucking point. Woo. This was the worst match of the night. It killed the crowd. You can tell it killed the crowd. I'll give them this. Like, if I was to grade that match, I'd give them C- because it was physical. Yeah. But it was just sloppy, man.
It was very
sloppy.
That's exactly what I used.
You could tell that Charlotte was calling the match, but she didn't call it well. They just didn't gel. The timing was off. You know, and then I was surprised that Charlotte ended up winning. I should have just stuck with Charlotte. I said it on this podcast before. I'm like, I'm done going against Charlotte. I should have stuck to that plan.
But Ronda Rousey wasn't around when you said that.
Right. But
just to give you that, like, she wasn't there, so.
Yeah, but she don't even need it just the way she's doing her promos, too. It's like.
Yeah, which it's funny because during our live show, you know, was it Dom that was saying like, hey, they should just have her. Someone chimed in and said they should just have her keep it. You know, they would rather Charlotte just retain the championship. I forget who said it, but then
I think I said that.
You read it out. Yeah, because someone posted it. Someone put it in the comments while we were talking. And I remember just being like, yeah, you know, we were talking about it, like I would be fine with that. If Charlotte retained, I would be totally cool with that. And, you know, I just didn't think it was going to happen because it's just the logical thing is Ronda Rousey comes back after all these years and she's going to main event WrestleMania against Charlotte, the match that they wanted to have in the first place. It would be Ronda that would win. She's the face, Charlotte's the heel. They thought otherwise. I mean, this is probably going to there's going to be a rematch at WrestleMania Backlash. Yeah. It's going to happen. We already
decided.
But it was, to your point, a very sloppy matchup. I was somewhat shocked at how sloppy it was. And I remember saying too that, you know, the build-up sucked. Yeah. But I had faith that Charlotte Flair was going to make it a banger of a match because she always does. The build-up doesn't matter with Charlotte. Doesn't matter. When she goes out there, she puts on a show. And I don't even blame Charlotte necessarily for this. I think it's more of it's kind of telling of maybe Ronda's level of engagement in this whole thing. Like, is she just disinterested? And that caused it to be sloppy because this is not Charlotte. Charlotte doesn't do this. You know, so Ronda being in there and having a match like that with Charlotte at WrestleMania, that's the factor. It's Ronda. So I hope that, you know, Ronda looks at this and she says, okay, you know, let me sharpen this up because, yeah, we did have the worst match on the card. You know, like that, if you're being objective about it, that's what it is. You know, the Usos match with Boogs and Nakamura, like that was injury. you guys were healthy, and that happened.
No excuses.
No excuses. That's bad. Drew McIntyre,
Right.
Happy Corbin had a way better match.
That was a better match.
It was a better match. Just,
wow.
You're right. Crazy that we're saying this, but it's just what it was. So yeah, man, I feel kind of bad, honestly, because I was wanting this match to be really good, even though I said, the build up again sucked, but I wanted it to be really good. And I was hoping Ronda would go out there and be like, okay, there was something would snap her into this mode of just putting on this banger of a match. She did great at the last WrestleMania she was at. So like, maybe she gives us that, but we didn't get it. So hopefully they work on it. And the rematch, I believe the rematch will be better than this match. I think they are going to fine tune whatever it is, because Charlotte is very critical of herself too. Like, she wants to be the best. She wants to go down as the greatest women's wrestler, the greatest wrestler of all time, period.
Yeah.
So if she has that mindset, I think she looks at this and she says, no, fuck this. This ain't happening again. However we do this shit can't happen again, because this is not going on my legacy.
But Ronda got to get it together too. This is,
I know.
This is a dance.
Right. So that's what either Charlotte goes into that match and having talked to Ronda, she believes this is going to be better, or they just don't have the rematch. Because if I think Charlotte has that pull to be able to say, look, that match sucked. We got to figure this out, or I'm not doing this with her again and embarrassing myself. No way.
Because we don't see eye to eye right now. Because that match was, I don't know.
It just it was like you said, there was a roughness to it, which was fine, but it was bad. Even the finish was weird. Like,
it was a boot. It was a
regular
finish.
boot beater.
Boot finish. When did that become a finish?
Never.
When did that move?
Never. Natural selection and the figure eight. Those are the ones she has.
That's it.
And they wasted too, because no one had ever gotten out of the figure eight, and Ronda did it. Ronda got out of it. It was kind of sloppy how she got out of it, but she got out of it. So that was like a history making moment, a WrestleMania moment that no one's gonna remember because the match is so forgettable overall. So that was wasted too. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because I'm rooting for both of them. I want them to put on a great match. I hope that the rematch is better, but this one just didn't do it. So yeah, that's what it is. But the next match or the next moment
match,
segment,
whatever it was,
you want to call it,
they picked it right back up.
When that Charlotte match was over, I said it's okay, because we've got Stone Cold Steve Austin showing up, and Kevin Owens has been doing work too with these promos. So I feel like we're gonna be just fine. And sure enough, we had a moment. So why don't you take this one, man? Stone Cold, favorite wrestler ever. You take it. Talk about it.
Oh my God. Like I said, I felt like I was a teenager again. Kevin Owens coming down, getting ready to kick off the KO show. He's saying, he's talking this, he's saying it with his chest. He was like, welcome to the main event of the Kevin Owens show. He said it with his chest.
The main event edition.
Right. And then he just continued to talk shit about Texas and Stone Cold. And then he was like, Stone Cold is my guest, so it's up to me when he can come out. I was like, oh wow. So he keeps on going on, and all of a sudden you hear, oh, when you hear that glass, I immediately got up off my couch. I was just marking out. He goes up to the right of the stage. He put his arms up. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, my arms up too. Go to the other side of the stage. I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah. Oh, just felt good, And then he's getting ready to walk. He's like, nah, hold on. He goes right back to the back of the stage. I'm like, what's going on?
What?
What? You see this? You see this? Right. Comes out Stone Cold. ATV, hit that little 3-wheel motion, hitting that corner.
That was awesome.
Oh man, bro. And he comes in doing his 4 corners of the ring, celebrating. It was everything. He got the knee braces, the t-shirt, Austin 316, the jean shorts. I'm like, this is Street Fighter Austin. He ready to go. He ready to what's up? So we get to the talking segment. Kevin Owens, I gotta respect him because he was like, you know what, Austin, you know what, I did trick you. I don't actually want to talk. I want to fight. I was like, okay. And at this moment, we knew it was going to be some form of fashion of a fight. Mm-hmm. And he was like, I want a match. And not just any match. I want a nose hole bar. I was like, what? Wait a minute. Wait, like, are we going to do this? Are we going to do this? And then he asked Stone Cold, he's silent. And he's like, he got nothing to say. And Stone Cold, he was like, gets on the mic, talking to the crowd. He was like, my first match was in Dallas, Texas. He was like, and my last match could be here in Dallas, Texas. I was like, yeah. If you want good old Stone Cold to beat up this sack of shit, give me a hell yeah. I'm like, hell yeah. Oh shit. I'm like, oh shit, we're fucking doing this. Mm-hmm. He was like, get a ref in here. Mm-hmm. Ref gets in. I'm like, this is no way happening. This is no way happening. They clearing shit out the ring. You see Austin in the corner. All of a sudden you hear ding, ding, ding. I'm like, oh my God, we are doing this. Mm-hmm. And they walk to each other. They're talking. You know, they probably whispering like, you going to hit me and I hit you. But it looked like just talking shit to each other. Yeah. That's awesome. All of a sudden, you see Kevin go for a punch. Austin go for a punch. They punching. Austin get KO in the corner. Oh, he falls down. Oh, he's going for the mud stump. But he's doing it real slow. I'm like, oh yeah, your knees. I get it. Yeah. I'm like, I get it. He's going like one. The crowd going 2.
Counting
he's
along.
Like 3. And he look at the crowd. He's like, nah, fuck this. Stumping the shit out of him. I was like, oh, he got me. His knees are fine. Man, it was just a fun match, man. All the way up to the bumps Austin was taking. He took a bump on the concrete. I was like, in the crowd. When I saw that, I'm like, this shit just got real. This shit just got real, bro.
Like, what is happening?
This is a match. Dude. This is a full match. Oh my God. And then they bring it back to the ring. Oh, it was fun too. When Kevin Owens trying to steal Stone Cold's ATV, trying to work like, how you work this thing? Steve Austin hit him from the behind, and they're like, we're gonna go up the stage. Yep. They go up to the stage. 2 more back suplexes to KO. I was like, oh my God, man.
You're doing this.
It was just a fun match. KO gave Stone Cold Steve Austin a stunner.
Mm-hmm. He took that bump.
And Steve Austin sold it. He was just like, I was like, oh my God. 1, 2, barely got that shoulder up. I'm like, oh shit. Woo. And then Steve, he gets up. Stone Cold, Kevin Owens is like, no, he gets the chair. All right. You see Steve Stone Cold getting against the ropes. All right, KO runs up. Stone Cold. Steve Austin get out the way. Bam. Chair hits. Bounce off the ropes. Hits KO on the head. I'm like, oh, man. Shit. It was over from that point. Right.
Perfect.
Gave that man a Stone Cold stunner. Bow. Bam. Right there. 1, 2, 3. And celebrated with more beer. Throughout this match, he had like 20, 30 beers.
I was going to say.
He had like beer. After he was very thirsty throughout this match.
Yes. He would do a move. Hey, let me get a beer.
Beer.
Go get some more moves. Give me another beer. How many beers you will be wasted?
Yeah, bro. He was swimming in beer, bro.
Hammered.
Hey, those are IPAs.
Like someone keeping count.
Oh man, it was just a fun match. I felt like I said, I was 13 again. I was giddy. It was a great main event, great way to close night 1.
Yeah, man, it was awesome, man. Well said. I definitely wanted to get that from your perspective overall, and I shared a lot of that. You know, me and my brothers went nuts. We just went nuts, having a great time, just Like, we're doing this. Like, he can go. He can do this. He's taking bumps. I said it before. I said he doesn't have to do much of anything for me, man. Like, I'm okay. If all he did was go out there, have a conversation, and then gave that man a stunner, dude, I'd have been okay, because he's up there in age. And how I saw him go out against The Rock, I'm like, oh, his body was broken, man. And that's 19 years ago. But that man came and, hey, if you're going to do a WrestleMania in Texas, in his heart, he said, you know what? I'm going to do this. If I'm going to go out there and do it, I'm going to do it. And he did it. He gave us an actual match, an actual fight, up and down the arena, up the crowd, up the stage, taking bumps on concrete. Just beautiful. It was a beautiful match. I applauded, just was like, thank you, Stone Cold. Yes. Byron Saxton got in the ring at the end, and Byron needs to know better by now, man. He's like, hey,
he's so innocent.
Yeah, he's so innocent. He was like, oh, yes, let's get me awesome. Great.
Beer is like,
yeah. I said, get that man a stutter again. I was like, damn it, Byron. It was great, man. It was great. Stone Cold had a lot of fun.
He did.
You can tell he had a lot of fun just being out there and competing and just entertaining, man. So awesome way to end night one, like you said, man. Just
shout out to Kevin Owens too, man. Living his life.
Yes.
Dream
he got
match.
To main event WrestleMania with Stone Cold Steve Austin. It doesn't get better than that. It really doesn't get better than that.
It doesn't.
So, and he did a great match. He sold great he made Stone Cold look great. And they went back and forth, and Stone Cold put in the work to look great. He looked great out there. Like, he did a great job. So
he's a made man. Because Stone Cold, he picked him. He picked you. I trust you in this ring.
Yep.
You're a made man, bro.
That's it. So yeah, definitely shout out to both of them. Shout out to Kevin Owens. Shout out to Stone Cold. Yeah. What a night one. It was awesome. Let's move on to night two. Woo. Starting things off with the match that I called low-key my most anticipated match of this whole damn thing. It was the triple threat tag team match for the Raw tag team titles. RK Bro versus the Street Profits versus Alpha Academy. And they delivered. Delivered. This was a great start for night two. Well, first of all, even before I get into the start for night two, I want to say shout out to Triple H again, because Triple H actually kicked off night two. Yes. They played his music. He did his entrance. The crowd showered him with praise. It was a beautiful, beautiful moment. He thanked everybody, and he said, the one thing I would do is do the one thing I can, which is say, welcome to WrestleMania, and just open off the show, and left his boots in the middle of the ring, officially retiring from in-ring competition. So one more time, salute to Triple H. And also, too, Undertaker night one as well came out during the Hall of Fame introductions, where they went over everybody, and he came out just man. His speech too was amazing as well. Go see that if you haven't. But just great moments from two of the absolute legends, goats of the industry, during this WrestleMania weekend, man. It was awesome. But going back to the match, so triple threat tag team matchup. All I'm gonna say is that these three teams went out there and put on a show. Just oh my God, from the beginning, it was just nonstop. Shout out to Montez Ford. This man just throws his body around like none other. That over the corner jump, when he does that, my heart stops every time. Like, literally runs from post to post, does a swanton over the ring post. And it was crazy. It was Gable was standing there. Yeah. Gable was in the ring. He had
to clear some feet.
Gable and over the post onto a group of people. That dude is crazy. He did it again tonight too, by the way, and was doing like a little Superman, superhero dive. Like, are you crazy? Like, what you doing? So shout out to him. And he did a blockbuster with when Angelo Dawkins had something.
That was nuts.
Yeah, just the height that he got on that.
It was like a frog splash into a blockbuster. Like, he got up there like from the heavens.
It was from the heavens, but a blockbuster. That man is just amazing. But not to be outdone, man, when he was going to do the frog splash, Matt Riddle caught this man at the top turnbuckle, jumped off the ropes, caught this man, and did an RKO. insane. Then Chad Gable tried to splash Riddle, and Randy Orton caught him with a
thank you.
I said, wow. 1, 2, 3, and still tag team champions. RK Bro, man. It was great. It was just a fun matchup.
Yeah, fast pace. Like it was, and you look at the time, 11 minutes and 30 seconds. So soon as the bell rung, they just hit go. They put, metal to the pedal, and man, it was just so fucking awesome. Yeah, Montez Ford, he's just not human, bro. No. That dude's Superman. That dude got hops. I was just impressed with the athletic skill. Like it was just crazy, man. And shout out to Chad Gable.
Dude.
He was shushing everybody. He was like, wait, hold on. He want to let everybody know. Dude. I appreciate that, man.
Even at the end, too, at the end of the whole thing, you've got the Street Profits actually, peace offering to RK Bro, which I thought they were going to turn heel. I really
thought they was, too. I'm like,
yeah. But they had the cups. They were like, let's do WrestleMania toast. I'm like, oh, no, hell no, this is bullshit. Like, they're about to turn. But then they looked to the crowd, and you had Gable Steveson in the crowd. And they're like, come on in. And so he came in, the Olympian. They've been touting this dude all weekend. They've been talking about him. So he comes in the ring to give him a cup. And they're like, all right, 1, 2, 3, WrestleMania. And here comes Chad Gable. Get that shit down. Like, just smacks it straight out of Gable Stevenson's hand. And they all look like, oh.
This you.
This all you. Right? This all you right here.
They all leave the ring.
They cleared the ring. And then Chad Gable's getting ready to talk. Gable Stevenson takes the mic from him. He's like, all this talk now, man. And then he's getting ready to say something. I'm like, oh, what's he going to say? And Chad Gable said, look, give me that microphone. Quick, listen here, rookie. You got a lot to learn. But the first thing you need to learn is when I'm in the ring, what you need to do is Steven said, oh, grab him, capture over the head suplex. But he was carrying him like a child for a minute. He's like, just had him up, looking around the crowd. Yeah, now I'm gonna suplex him over the head, belly to belly suplex. Great moment. They had the WrestleMania toast afterwards. It was a fun moment, but overall, this match, it gave me everything that I wanted as far as just that pace, that action. It was fun.
Yeah, man. Well said, man. I love that 7. Shout out to Chad Gable. That stretch is over. Yeah. Oh, man. Someone put in the chat, too. I'm trying to remember who put that, but they was like, we got Gable on Gable violence.
Yeah. My brother said that, too, man. It's Gable versus Gable. And they're going to put the names up. They're going to have a match like loses their name. I said if they do that, then Chad Gable's going to be Chad Shoosh. They're going to change his last name to Shoosh.
Yep. I'm carrying damn team.
Making his way to the ring, Chad Shoosh. Fun times, man. And hey, let's keep it going. This next match too was interesting. We had Bobby Lashley versus Omos. This matchup, man, you take it because you predicted it, and I'm glad you did. Because I said, damn it, prediction. I'm rooting for Bobby Lashley, but I did not think it was going to happen. And, hey, we got ourselves
I made the tough call. I made the tough pick. I went with Bobby, and thank God he went over.
Yes.
It was a decent match. Yeah, Omos is still green because it was a bit of a botch.
Scary moment.
Yeah, I think Omos was doing like a tackle to Bobby into the corner, and Bobby hit the back of his head on the ring post. I didn't even notice it until Corey mentioned it, and then they showed it on the replay. I was like, God,
slow-mo,
damn,
you could really see it.
Yeah, it was.
Man.
I was like, God damn. But that's a strong man. He finished the match. They had some good feats of power. You see Bobby picked them up, whoop, slammed them. Yep. I was like, okay.
Yep, did a suplex, yep.
Dude, so it was nice, a change of pace for Omos to actually work for a guy with a guy like Bobby. So I thought that was refreshing. But still, he still got, he gonna need a little bit more grooming. But saw what happened on Monday.
Dude, I mean, yeah, I'm getting what I want, out of him now with what happened tonight on Raw. So going back to the match real quick, Bobby Lashley, it was clear that Bobby Lashley was over with the crowd. His entrance was great. He was on like a podium, and he was just flexing, and they had the drums it wasn't his song. It was like some other thing going doom, 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 and you see him just flexing, just
I was like, this is just like nice. It's a nice presentation.
Yeah. Then the pyro goes off and he walks up and the crowd was into it. Yeah, Bobby and Omos, they went out there. There was a lot of power moves. Bobby speared him in the back. Then he speared him and just, the regular spear and then got him with that. I was like, dang, like he won. Thank goodness. Thank God. Like I was so happy. That Bobby won. It just didn't feel like the right time for Omos to beat someone of that caliber. Like he's still green, like you said, even with the botch move. So moving on to Raw, you had MVP return, and MVP, is talking up Bobby Lashley, saying, "Hey man, like Bobby Lashley, you saw what he did last night, and he did that without me. Like awesome, like that was great. So let's all introduce." Hey, give it up for Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley comes out, crowd's loving him. They're chanting, Bobby, Bobby. And he's talking about like, yeah, like when I first took that match and I'm standing there, looking at Omos, I'm thinking to myself, do I really want to do this? Do I really want to put myself through this? But then I said, you know what? I want to test myself against guys like this. I want to take on that challenge. And then Omos music hits and he comes out. And he doesn't even get on the mic. He just screams loud enough for the mic to pick it up. He's like, I want my freaking rematch.
Yep. Like you heard that loud and clear.
Right. And MVP's like, the Colossus says he wants to go against Bobby Lashley again. And so Bobby and Omos have this little stare down. And then from the back, MVP, boop, hits Bobby Lashley in the back of the head. And then they just both MVP and Omos just go to town on Bobby, just stomping him. MVP gets on top of him, saying, "Oh, you don't need me. You don't need me." Which is interesting because when he first said that line about he did it without me, I said, "Oh, here it goes. He's gonna turn." Immediately, I knew it. I'm like, he's gonna turn, man. You don't say. Why did he say it like that? Like, you don't need me? Okay, so. Fast forward, he's beating up Bobby. You don't need me. You don't need me, huh? Then Omos is beating him down. He's like, yeah, send a message. Make your statement. And then he's going to Bobby. He's like, I bet you think you need me now. I bet you wish you still had me now. It was perfect. I'm like, wow, man. So now, hey, we talked about this on the show a bunch of times. I think Omos, he needs that manager. He needs the mouthpiece. He needs somebody to help sell him. We talked about Bivens as a potential person for him, but hey, MVP, I think is perfect.
Yep.
Bobby doesn't need MVP anymore. He's over. He's done it. He is a made man for this crowd right now. They're loving him. He's getting on the mic by himself. He's selling himself. That's fine. So now transition to another guy that could use that help, that MVP once gave to Bobby. MVP pulled Bobby away from Lana and all that mess that he was going through, turned him into a champ.
Yes.
Right. In the Hurt business. So now maybe MVP can recreate that magic with Omos, a guy who has potential because of his size and just the it's just what is that called? Like when you see him, it's a thing. It's a moment. It's this colossal event anytime Omos is there. Special attraction, exactly. So to formulate that into something more, I feel like a guy like MVP can help like tell the story to really get it across. Me and my brothers were joking, like one thing they could do is he's been kind of teasing this thing. He's been saying, I think it's Mimi Ogun. Like I think he's calling himself something because that's not Yoruba. That's not something that I would understand. It's his dialect that he's saying it in. Ooh. So I'm like, it would be interesting if he delved more into that, like his culture, his tribe, like bring that into his character a lot like Apollo Crews did. But I feel like this would be even more, his thing because he speaks the language. And so bring that in. And then what we're saying is like, just like how Ali corrected people. Like, my name is Mustafa. Like, he should be like, look, this, like, maybe he either keeps Omos or says, hey, Mimi Ogun, that's what you call me now. And you guys need to say my name right. You need to say that shit right. Because some people say almost. You know, some people say almost.
Almost.
He needs to be like, hey, say my name right, or I'm whooping your ass, and just like challenge people, you know, to do that. And I just feel like that would be interesting for him to take pride in his name and just demand that people say it right. You know, take pride in this title he's calling himself and demand that people say that right. Like, that to me, I think, okay, now we're building something. And MVP could be that perfect person to even add more fuel to that fire. I'm just like, there's potential here, man, that I'm getting excited about.
It is. He's lined up with the perfect manager, the right mouthpiece. All right, now how do we make this work? You know, this only time will tell. So I'm looking forward to next Monday and see if he's able to, like you said, connect the dots. You know, bring some of that you know, so some of his culture, and see if MVP can translate that.
Absolutely. So definitely, you know, I have more interest in this now than I did going into that match at WrestleMania. The outcome, awesome. And now even the Raw after, I feel like this is going in the right direction. So shout out. And we talked about too, I think you asked me, you said, who do you think Omos should go against after AJ? And I brought up Bobby Lashley because I felt like, hey, as far as strength on strength, it just makes sense. Yep. Now, I did not see coming that they would switch managers. That to me is like a wrinkle where I'm like, ooh, I like this. I like where this is going. So shout out to them. Let's keep it going. All right. Next match up, Johnny Knoxville versus Sami Zayn. You were saying your daughter had your daughter's reaction towards this that had you laughing. So you take this one, man. Just go over your experience with this matchup and what you thought.
Johnny Knoxville, Sami Zayn. Shout out to Sami Zayn. He put everything in this. You could tell he had fun with this. Johnny Knoxville, another celebrity match. You know, not the most athletic guy, but man, he took them bumps though. You know, I'm like, he's gonna take an ass whooping. He definitely did. It was just laugh out loud, good time. All the way down to Party Boy, Wee Man getting power slam. Oh, not getting power slam, power slamming Sami Zayn.
His power slam, that was a moment.
So that at that point, my daughter is watching. When she saw Wee Man, for some reason that just grabbed her attention, and she was like, "I care about this guy right now."
Yes,
the minute
I love it.
The minute Wee Man, he's in the corner trying to work the contraction, the little kick thing. Yeah, he can knee Sami Zayn in the balls. Sami Zayn just kicks the shit out of him. Wee Man go down. My daughter's like, "Oh no, the short man." And I'm like laughing, dude. I'm dead. Because she was like, "Oh no."
So invested.
Yes. I hope he's okay.
That's awesome.
So just from her experience, man, I was having a good time with it too, man. I get it. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but it was a fun match. It was a hilarious match. It was a comedy match, man. You know, but it was fun though. So shout out to the Jackass team, the Johnny Knoxville, especially Sami Zayn, bro.
Yeah, man. Honestly, I feel like that's probably the best perspective of the matchup right there, is you mentioning how your daughter felt about, you know, watching Wee Man and just being very invested in him. It was a fun match. It was a comedy match. It was what it was. I enjoyed it. The giant mouse trap at the end was just ridiculous. Like, there were so many just ridiculous things that they tried to do in this matchup.
The hand slap? Where did that thing come from, bro?
How did you not see that? And where did it come from? Hey, man, it's one of those you just say, you know what? I'm just going to have some fun. I'm not even going to try to overthink this. They're just trying to make us laugh. They're trying to entertain us, and I'm cool with that. So it was a fun matchup, and that's all I'm going to say.
It's like a stadium stampede match in AEW. It was like, okay, I'm going to have fun with this.
That's it. That's it. There's going to be some ludicrous, ridiculous things that happen in wrestling sometimes. And sometimes you just have to say, you know what? It's okay. I'm going to accept it. Let's just have a good time, y'all. So that's what this was. It was awesome. All right, moving on to the women's tag team championship matchup, fatal 4-way for the women's tag team championships. We had Naomi and Sasha versus Carmella and Queen Zelina versus Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan versus Natalya and Shayna Baszler. Yes. So this matchup here, I feel like there wasn't a whole lot of energy when we were doing predictions for this one, but on my side, I was really excited for the idea of Liv getting her first championship potentially. I was really hoping and rooting for her for that. You know how I feel about Sasha, and I mentioned there that for Sasha, I feel like she's gone beyond needing certain wins. Like she had never gotten a win at WrestleMania before, but I felt like it'd be okay. You know, if she never got a win at WrestleMania, it's fine because she's just achieved the superstardom regardless. However, when it all goes down, when this match happens, and I'm watching and I'm looking at it, I mean, it's hard because I'm rooting for Liv, but I'm also rooting for Sasha too because that's my favorite female wrestler. Period. So I'm watching this go back and forth, and I'm like, oh, what's gonna happen? Who's gonna do this? And that finish at the end, that tag team maneuver with the double knees and the slam at the same time, I said, I think they're going to end it right here.
That was a nice finish.
That looked like a strong finish. And sure enough, Sasha Banks and Naomi, they got the win. They're the new women's tag team champions. And I was happy. There was part of me that was like, I feel bad for Liv. Damn, like this was her moment. But it's Sasha, and she had her moment. So it's like
it's Sasha.
Right. I was torn. I was torn on it for sure.
Sasha and Naomi.
Yeah, and what was amazing about this too, that later on social media too, I was seeing posts that they took pictures. It was Bianca Belair with Naomi and Sasha, all with their championships.
That's some black girl magic going on.
That was amazing. That was amazing. That for me was like, okay, like this is again history being made, and also just a wonderful moment, just uplifting, just black people in general, black women in general. Like it was just such a positive image to see that. So, you know, shout out to the three of them for achieving that, for earning that, for going out there, putting on a hell of a show. And yeah, they're all champions, and just what an awesome sight. So it was awesome. Now going forward, it's interesting because it looks like they're going to have a rematch, but not the fatal 4-way. It's going to be Liv and Rhea versus Sasha and Naomi. Yeah. But I don't know. I feel like the way they're getting to this is kind of weird because they just lost. Right.
Right. Like, how you get another rematch?
You lost at the fatal 4-way, and then you lost on Raw.
I talked to Adam. I was able to get another what?
Wait, what?
You just lost.
That didn't make any sense.
Did you do that? Right. What happened?
I don't know. I feel like Rhea's getting ready to turn heel.
Oh, dude.
Because
she's not with the losing shit.
No.
She's not with the
This is the second tag team champion in like the last 3 months or whatever that this has happened. Yep. Like, no, I'm not losing again. I'm done.
Jump on me one more time.
One more fucking time. So I was kind of sad to see like, oh, they're getting ready to break this team up already. Like I feel like they just got together, but it feels like the natural thing to have happen if they're not gonna win. Like Rhea, I feel would be like, no, damn this. Like I'm better than that. You know, I'm a former NXT Women's Champion. I'm a former Raw Women's Champion, and now I have tag team partners that keep holding me back. You know, first it was almost a superhero. Now we got to live. Nah, hell no, never again.
Nah, fuck that. Me and Bianca got business.
Right. That's what it should be.
Yeah,
that's perfect. Turn Rhea heel.
And they got history too.
Give Bianca a strong opponent to go against.
Yes,
a new opponent to go against.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm with that. So, but back to this match, great moment to see Sasha, Naomi, and Bianca all as champions. Like I said, Black Girl Magic is awesome. Anything to add to that?
Man, you said it well. I just say it was a decent match. I thought it started a little bit sloppy between all four teams, but then they got it straightened out towards the end. But I love that finish with Naomi and Sasha Banks, the whole knee with the setup whatever that was.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called, but it just looked crazy. It looked like a finish.
Yeah. When I saw it, I was like, "Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty clean."
Yeah.
They got the pin. I was a little bit shocked because Sasha Banks always lose at WrestleMania. I just went with the story with that, man.
Yep.
So it was a nice surprise, man. So yeah, man, Vince is weird in 2022. I don't get it,
dude. I don't know.
I don't get it, bro.
I don't know.
Vince is weird. It's being weird.
Shout out to Corey Graves too on commentary, man. Like,
dude,
his wife to be, being in this match, and he was biased as hell, but I love
the facial expressions.
Yeah, that's his bae. That's his wife. That's his wife to be. Like he is rooting for her, and he's unapologetic about it.
Baby.
And
get up.
Giving her advice during the match from the side. Like, what are you doing? But hey, it made sense and it was entertaining. So shout out to Corey Graves on that. I thought that was awesome. All right, moving on to Edge versus AJ Styles. One thing we talked about that I put it in your head and you said you were really excited when I talked about this was Edge's entrance. I was anticipating. I'm like, we have not seen his entrance yet fully for a match. What did you think of the entrance?
Loved it. Loved it. He made a statement.
Yeah,
it's like poetic Edge, on his mountain.
Yep.
Coming out Brood style, bro. Just the fire, him arising, just looking just like an evil son of a bitch, man. I was like, oh. And then you hear you think you know me, but you really don't. And you hear the music. Oh, dude. It was a good look. And him and the colors too, man. Purple.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Nice touch.
It had vibes of The Undertaker a little bit. And vibes of Triple H a little bit. Like a merging of those two styles. Because Triple H uses the throne a lot. And then Undertaker with the black and purple, and the fire. Right. I was like, oh, shit. Like, this is cool. So I really loved that entrance overall, man. Like, it was great. And that song, it just fits perfect into the whole vibe, everything. The wings, the black wings in the back, too. Like, for me, Sephiroth, Final Fantasy, that character, that look, I just kind of, put that together as well. It's just awesome, man. Like, shout out to Edge for reinventing himself once again. Yes. It's just that man right now, he's doing it. Hopefully, a lot of people that were kind of skeptical on the character, seeing this now, hopefully gets them to say, hey, like that was crazy. That was nice what he did at WrestleMania. So we'll see there. But keep going, man. What you think of all this?
I love the match, man. AJ, as soon as he came out, you noticed a cut. And
I know how it happened.
Okay,
now.
Yeah. I saw the video because I'm thinking like, man, with Edge and AJ scrapping, are they going to show us a video?
So what's great about that, though, is not knowing how it actually happened. We were doing the same thing on our side. We were talking like, what happened in the back? Like, did they fight and then like they came out and now they're gonna like continue on? Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, it felt very real at that point seeing that. So I had that in my mind that I was like, or maybe was it that Vince McMahon was like trying to hype him up? He's like, yeah, I need you to go out there. I need you to kill it. I need you to he's slapping it. And he has one of his rings on and he slaps the shit out of AJ. And then he has the cut. That's what I was thinking. I was like, something along that line. Either him and Edge fought back there, or Vince McMahon just slapped the shit out of AJ.
Come to find out, AJ just bumped his cheek on the
his head on the stage.
As soon as he came out, he wasn't paying attention where he was walking
because he had the hood over. He couldn't see, at his lower. Because when he went out there,
shit.
Right, the hood, like he hit his head because he couldn't see, and then now he pushed the hood back. So by the time he did his entrance, I noticed too, like usually the hood is up, but it was down. So instead of him doing that and then like spreading his arms, he just went straight to his normal the gloves. And I'm like, that's a weird entrance. Then they zoom in and you see the cut. I'm like, what the fuck? What happened? Like, is he okay? And he looked like upset. Like, he was mad, and he was looking at the blood. The commentary is like, well, we'll get a story on what the hell happened there. And I'm like, this is about to be a fight. Like, something happened. Edge looked back to, during Edge's entrance, by the way, some kid, I guess, was clapping his hands, but a little too close to Edge.
Yup.
And then he touched him.
He was
Edge
not.
back like,
he was disgusted. He was disgusted.
He looked back at that kid. Don't you dare. Don't you
ever
even
touch
think
me.
about it. Don't you
Right.
ever touch me again. I was like, holy shit. This
He
match
wasn't
is about to
having
be
none of
real.
that.
What is happening?
Right. Oh, man.
That was-
But
yeah, it
Edge
was
and
great.
AJ had awesome chemistry. To me, this is the type of wrestling I like. It's very slowed down, but you're telling chapters, though.
Yeah.
You got chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. So they progressively told a great story. That pace might not be for everybody, but for me, I loved it because the story they had, and then what Edge was telling, he was making every fucking move matter. So when he reversed one of AJ moves and he just face palm him on the mat, I was like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? Or he had him and he. I think he threw him in the corner and AJ hit his stomach or something. And he started working the stomach muscles. I was like, oh man, this is just great, man. AJ turning around doing the calf muscle, doing a 450, but Edge got his feet up. Dude, it was just a nice match. And then towards the end, when AJ's getting ready to do, I think it's second or third.
Form,
yeah, phenomenal form. You see Damian Priest, formerly Arrow guy. Now, I can't figure out who I am. But it looked like he looked like he figured it out now because he over there looking at Edge, looking at AJ. AJ's like, the fuck you doing, man? Like, fuck you, whatever. Getting ready to do it. Edge comes with that spear. Bow. 1, 2, 3, over. You see Priest looking at him. Just just giving him a look. Edge is looking at him, just not smiling, not giving it away yet.
Yeah, he didn't know he was going to be there.
Right. Yep. Just, look like the fuck you doing, And then Priest gets up in the ring. They have a little stare down, facing face to face. All of a sudden, he kneels down. Priest kneels down.
Well, Edge was kneeling down already.
Oh yeah, Edge was kneeling down. That's right.
On a knee.
Yep,
And
Edge was
Priest
kneeling down.
Went down.
Priest
to a knee.
kneeled down.
And
they
look at each other. They start smiling and laughing like, yeah.
I was like, I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Edge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
The chat group was blowing up from that point. They was like, what the fuck is this? What is going on?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're saying they heard rumors about Edge, putting the faction together. I'm like, what? I heard nothing of this.
I didn't hear that at all.
Yeah, like the third man might be Tommaso. I'm like, stop fucking playing.
Oh,
stop playing. Don't play with me like that. Do not put that in my brain.
Do
not put that in my brain.
Please do that. Please do that. Good Lord. That'd be amazing. Holy shit.
I don't know. May he might be.
Yeah.
If Triple H got juice like that, let
yeah.
Edge know, like, hey, this my guy. Yeah.
Wow. You know what's funny about this whole thing too is that there is a little bit of like Aleister Black Malachi to Edge's character, and it's funny because he has the House of Black. So now Edge doing this whole thing, creating a faction. There's some parallels there. I'm just going to have to say it because it was on my mind. I'm like, this is what Aleister was trying to do. Like he was trying to do something along this line, but they just never let it really, come across. And now, I mean, he's doing an amazing job with it. It's awesome. It's awesome over there. So, yeah, shout out. Hey, do it. Edge, do it. And the scales, he had that on his tights.
Yup.
And
I noticed that.
Yeah. So the whole thing you were looking for, you wanted it, you got it. So that was awesome. Just the whole thing, man. The match was awesome. The presentation was awesome. One thing I thought about too, and I sent it to I told my brother about it. I said, so at this point now, we have Edge feuding with AJ Styles. And Damian Priest's last feud was, it seemed like his current feud was still with Finn Balor for that United States Championship, and they didn't pay that off. Like, we still are kind of in a, like, are we going to go back to that? So AJ doesn't have help right now. He's got nobody. He's running solo, right?
Union?
Could we see Finn Balor come on in and help out AJ and we get a reunion of the club? Dude, I'm just saying. I'm just saying, and it's not even a reunion because these guys, they both led the Bullet Club and they like missed each other. Like,
Yeah,
Finn
that's
Balor
right.
was
So
on
it's
his
not
way
his
out,
yeah,
and AJ came in.
Yep.
So they
You're
never even
saying.
really teamed up. But we've been wanting to see these two interact since that match they had when Bray Wyatt couldn't do the match and it was AJ filled in. So man, I feel like there's an opportunity here to have this tag match happen between these two.
He gonna need some help.
It just makes sense. So WWE make it happen. Finn Balor, AJ Styles team up to go against Damian Priest and Edge. I don't even know what to call them. We'll see. Maybe they'll have a name for their faction pretty soon.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Dude, it was awesome. He called him the man who will be the punishment of the guilty. That's the way that he stated it.
That is his job assignment.
Right.
He gets responsible.
The punishment. He's dealing with punishment for the guilty. He's the Punisher.
Yep.
He's no longer the arrow guy. Now he's the Punisher. That's awesome. One superhero to another. Like, no longer the Green Arrow. You are now the Punisher. That's great. So yeah, man, awesome. We'll see what happens there. The next match, I think we can go through this one really quickly.
Yeah, we can.
Not much of anything happened here.
Mm-hmm.
It was Sheamus and Ridge Holland with Butch versus the New Day with Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. The main thing here was it was cool seeing the New Day come out in Big E's gear. That was awesome. I felt like they would do something like that to show homage to Big E because he was supposed to be in this matchup. But unfortunately, Big E broke his neck. Shout out to Big E. Get well soon. When it comes to, Rich Holland, Sheamus, and Butch, the biggest thing there was Butch, a.k.a. Pete Dunne, was a savage. He was crazy. He's just, like, unhinged. They couldn't control him. He kept getting involved.
I was saying like out loud, like, Sheamus, get your mans, bro.
Right.
This dude is wild.
Dude, I feel like, so I heard that his character is similar to a character in Peaky Blinders who has a similar like anger management issue thing.
I don't
know
because I watched that show, so I know exactly who he's talking about.
Okay, so
it's a good show.
I was like,
it's a good show. You would like that show. Very good story, dialogue. What's that guy's name? That who he played Scarecrow in Batman Begins.
Yeah, I know the oh man, now it's gonna be on the tip of my tongue right now. I know the actor you're talking about though. Yes, and I've never seen Peaky Blinders, but I've seen kind of clips and stuff from it. So yeah, now you're gonna have me look it up because I can see his name and it's just pissing me off that I'm not able to say his name right off the bat.
I want to do the research real quick. Get that name.
Yeah, no, I got to get it. Cillian Murphy. There we go.
There we go.
I can see it. I was like, Scarecrow, Dark Knight, come on. Or Batman Begins, I should say. But yeah, man, just that character. Okay, I like that because I felt like he was the highlight of that match, was just him being unhinged and being all over the place. And the match was over very quickly. I mean, they have this down at 1 minute and 40 seconds for the official match. That's insane. Like,
to New Day.
Maybe they were running low on time and they just needed to speed that up. But yeah, I don't know.
Well, they was initially supposed to be for night one. But night one ran out of time. So they got kicked to night two. Right. So it's cool that at least they got to beat at WrestleMania. It's just the match itself seemed like, it wasn't much of anything. But, shout out to Butch, a.k.a. Pete Dunne, for, making, just doing what he did, and being so unhinged. That part was fun for me. It was fun to see him like, wow, oh my God, what are you doing? Like, damn, dude, what the like I just kept saying stuff like that. Like Sheamus had to go on the other side of the corner to get this dude and bring him back to his side. He was like, bro, what are you doing?
Right.
Picking him up. Butch like
he's all over the place. Like, let me at him.
And when they won, when they got the pin, it's like they even Butch didn't even celebrate.
Nope.
It's like, fuck that, bro.
I'm trying to whoop somebody's ass. It's like, Jesus. Oh, man. So, yeah, man. So that match, it was what it was. But now moving on to the co-main. Oh, my goodness. This moment here. Wow. Pat McAfee versus Austin Theory.
Wow.
So, first of all, like, shout out to Austin Theory because he did his thing. He played his part. He did his thing, whatever. And Vince McMahon came out there too, and he introduced this man as a future Universal Champion. Austin Theory. I said, wow, that is McIntyre a lot of pressure. Yes. Hey, man, he's getting the chosen one treatment.
Yes.
He has just been named the future Universal Champion by Vince McMahon himself. Like, it's a blessing and a curse because now we're going to be looking at him like, okay, can you live up to this? Mm-hmm. But, I mean, to have that much confidence coming from Vince McMahon like that, to come out there at WrestleMania and proclaim you the guy, holy shit. Like,
hey, see something in him. So,
yeah. I mean, and I feel like he's got ability. You know, he's got a look. You know, he could be a great, great, great wrestler for them for years and years to come. Can he get to that height? Only time will tell. So we'll see what happens there. Yeah, but so there was Austin Theory, and that all happened. And then you get the White Stripes, Seven Nation Army, music hitting, the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders come out there, and Pat McAfee comes out, and that crowd, from the minute they heard that song, they were singing along. I said, oh my God, this is perfect. This
he was over. He's super over with the crowd, bro.
Yeah, it was perfect. And then he's having a good time. He's looking at the crowd walking down. He's like, yeah. That crowd's like, yeah. He gets tossed a football. He punts the football into the stands perfectly.
Pretty punt. Yeah.
I was like, what is happening? This is amazing. So, and Vince McMahon's sitting there, and he's annoyed as hell, you know, watching all this take place. Start this match. I'm tired of this. Start this match. So then they're going, and of course, for those of you that watched NXT and saw what Pat McAfee did there, you knew that he had some ability, right? Like, again, you know, for background, when that all happened for us here on this show, we were like, man, against Adam Cole, no way you shouldn't have any offense. But
go back to our episode. That's one of the few rare times that I rant.
Right.
Because we're all about positivity, all about having fun.
Yes.
But I wasn't having fun that night.
No, not on that one. Not on that one. It was like, you're going to do this to one of the greatest NXT champions of all time?
Oh,
Pat McAfee's going to come in here?
I was not with that shit at all, bro. I was not having it. Not today. You're going to feel me.
Yeah. But what we took from that going into this was Pat McAfee clearly, even for that match, he wasn't some newbie. He wasn't some guy who had never trained before. That's what was being sold. That was the story, but that wasn't the truth. The truth is this man's been training. He has a damn ring outside his house that he uses to train, and he's been doing this since he left the NFL. So, yeah, man, he's legit. Like, he's not even you can't even consider this a celebrity match, because Pat McAfee has been training for this for a long, long time. So, with all that said, Pat McAfee, he goes in there, he does his thing. He had that moment of him and Theory are on the top rope, and then Theory pushes him off, and he does a backflip, lands on his feet. Crowd goes nuts. Me, I'm like, yeah, we saw this in NXT, but I was rooting for him. I was like, do it, Pat. Do it, Pat. Show him what you're about. And he did it. And he landed. He stuck the landing. I'm like, yes. And then I was like, now jump up there and do the hop up, because I knew it. We knew his moves.
We saw this for Adam Cole. The exact same thing.
Dude, he did it, and the crowd went nuts. I'm like, oh, he's showing them what he's got, man. This is awesome. So he did that. He missed the swanton, but he went up there and did it, and that looked awesome too. Like, picture perfect with that as well.
He ate all of that, Matt.
Dude, he just everything that Pat was doing was great. And then even the finish looked like Austin Theory was getting ready to win. You know, he had enough, you know, started doing his special combo, you know, his comeback maneuver in the video games, you know, like he's going in on Pat McAfee. But Pat McAfee gets the roll up, 1, 2, 3, pins him.
Powerful move in wrestling.
The most powerful move ever in sports entertainment. Roll up, 1, 2, 3, gets the victory. Crowd's going nuts, singing the song. And all through the match, too, that crowd was singing that song. It was that choice is just so perfect.
Yes.
It's so perfect. And it fits him, because in sports, that is just such a popular song to use to pump up the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like in soccer and American football and all sorts of sports, you hear that song. So for a athlete to come into WWE and use that song, it's just like, yeah, why wouldn't you? I'm shocked no one's ever even thought about using that before. Like, it's crazy, but shout out to Pat McAfee.
It's like, I gotta come out to this.
It's his now. It's his now, and it's brilliant. So when he went out there, he performed, and then, you know, he's on the top rope, he's celebrating, then he looks down, now Vince McMahon and Austin Theory talking shit, and Vince McMahon looking at him like, me? You want me? No, you don't want me. Wait, you want me for real? Me? He's like, he starts on doing his tie. No, I'm good. Undoes the tie, starts on doing the jacket. No, I'm good. Then he takes off the jacket, the shirt. No, I'm good. He takes the shirt off. He's got the black tank on, like the famous Vince McMahon black tank. Gets in the ring. And I mean, look, he's older now. He's like 70-something.
70,
but for 76
years old, bro.
He's still a big dude. It's like, wow.
I was like, bro, he still got muscles. You saw the veins in his biceps. I was like, impressive.
I'm like, he's still a big dude. Oh, man, commentary sold this great. They were like, get out of the ring now, Pat. You don't know what you get into. Get out of there. And so there's a referee. I'm like, what the hell is happening?
What are the refs
having a match? So now here we are. We are having a match. Pat McAfee versus Vince McMahon right after Pat McAfee just beat Austin Theory. But Austin Theory's there. He's getting involved, helping Vince McMahon cheat, you know, just pulling shenanigans. And Vince McMahon's doing clotheslines. Pat McAfee's selling the shit out of these clotheslines too. Like he's just getting hit with JBL clotheslines from hell, man. Like,
he gave him Orange Cassidy kicks too.
And Pat McAfee's trying to sell it. I was like, again, this is one of those moments where you just kind of have to have fun with it. It is what it is. They're trying to give us entertainment, have a good time. It was cool. So, you know, Vince is doing his thing. They bring the football in again. He's faking like he's going to kick it in the crowd. Then he kicks it in Pat McAfee's gut. Previous to this, Austin Theory had pulled Pat McAfee into the post, hit him in the junk. So, you know, he was out from that. Mm-hmm. So it was only a formality when he got hit with the football in his side. He was already done. So Vince McMahon goes for the cover. 1, 2, 3. Beats Pat McAfee after Pat McAfee got his victory over Austin Theory. Crowd's like, boo, no, boo. Because Pat McAfee's over. They are not happy with this.
No, they're not.
Then you got Vince and Austin Theory in the ring. Austin Theory puts his arms out, wants to get a hug. Vince looks at him at first like, what? But then he's like, come on, bring it in. And then Vince goes and he hugs him. And then it's funny because first Austin Theory's music hits. But Vince McMahon's reaction was like, oh, what the hell? And so my brother said, oh, he's got PTSD from Stone Cold Steve Austin. Because he's thinking that's Stone Cold's music. And we were laughing because, you know, there's no inclination that Stone Cold's coming out.
No.
But then, dun, 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 dun. I'm like, Stone Cold's doing this again?
I marked out.
He's doing this again.
I was like, get him. Get Vince.
I was so happy. I was so happy. I was like, yes. And you can see Vince McMahon, just the absolute terror in this man's eyes. He's like, oh, no, not again. Not again. I'm not about to get stunned again. In his mind, he got stunned. Like, he's so deathly afraid of this stunner. You can tell.
It's a lot of PTSD from that, man.
He's just, I just picture him replaying all the times he got stunned over the years in his mind while Stone Cold is walking down the ramp. He's taking him before Stone Cold even gets there. To where when he finally gets in the ring, Austin Theory tries to go at him at Stone Cold. Stone Cold stuns him. Bravo, Austin Theory. He sells it. One of the best sell jobs
Video
ever.
Game, just legs up in the air.
That was rock-like the way he sold that, man. It was rock-like for sure. So then it's just Austin and Mr. McMahon, and everybody wants to see this happen, this stunner. Like, come on, we know it's coming. But Vince McMahon is pleading, begging Stone Cold, please, for old time's sake, please, Stone Cold, please, Austin, no, please. then Stone Cold's like, let's just have a beer. Let's have a beer.
Yep.
It's cool. Just for old time's sake. It's cool. We just got a beer. And Vince doesn't believe him at first, but then he goes, for old time's sake, all right, just one. All right, just one beer. That's it, right? Yeah, one beer, cool. Austin calls for the beer.
He gets the beer.
Vince is holding it. He's looking at Austin.
Right, cracks it. He's like, wait.
One beer, right? That's it. Okay. He sips it. He starts tasting it. Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. so then he pounds his chest. He's like, one like for old time's sake, right? We're okay. We're good.
Right. Just making sure I'm covering all my bases right here.
Doing a phenomenal job. I love this. And then they start chugging the beer. Stone Cold goes to kick him. And Vince just crumpled. He was just done.
The first kick, Stone Cold kicked him in the stomach. So, dude, Vince like dropped his mouth like, oh shit. He he lost his balance. He bounced off the rope. Stone Cold trying to get him.
He hit the ropes. First, and Stone Cold is laughing the whole time too. He's having a great time. He's like, "What the fuck? This is the worst stunner ever." But we're just gonna do this.
Yep.
So Vince gets up. Stone Cold kind of grabs his head, and then Vince his balance is gone, and he falls on his back. And Stone Cold just falls to the ground, and then he gets up and he just
laughing his ass off.
He's like, "Just give me a beer, man. Give me a beer." He sees Vince. He kicks Vince out the ring, and then he's just. I loved it. I loved every piece of that moment. Yes. I felt like it was exactly what it needed to be because Vince is an old man.
Right.
He's trying his best.
That's what's funny, man. I don't give a fuck if he botched the stutter. Yeah. Right. I give 0 F's about him botching. It was perfect. The botch was perfect. It was fitting. It's just like the first stunner he ever took back in '98. And he botched it. Perfect.
Exactly what it was supposed to be. I saw Mick Foley too reacted to it as well. He was just laughing his ass off.
He was in tears. He couldn't even speak, just like you. He was just.
It just seems Vince McMahon like just lose his balance immediately. He took one tap. Oh no! I loved it. And then, he's drinking his beers, and then he sees Pat McAfee. He tells Pat McAfee, hey, get in the ring. I'm like, yes, give Pat McAfee that moment with Stone Cold. That's awesome. So then the crowd starts saying, oh. And then Pat McAfee and Stone Cold recognizes what's happening. He's like, hey, you go to that corner, I go to this corner. Yeah. They're both drinking the beers. You got the photo op, the moment. It's perfect. They get in the ring again. They tap the 2 beers. Pat McAfee's drinking the beers. Stone Cold gives him a stunner. He stuns him too.
And that was one of the best stunners I've seen.
He sold it perfect. He had the beer in his mouth.
Yep,
and so when he got the stunner, he spit it all out and spray it in the air. Oh, it just
fell right flat back. I was like, oh man.
But what even enhanced that even more is that I think Stone Cold threw him another beer while he was on the ground, and they cut to Pat McAfee, and he's unconscious, but he's chugging the beer on the ground. I'm like, what the fuck?
Protect Pat McAfee.
Amazing. Yes.
Protect Pat McAfee. We need him to stay in WWE.
Dude, yes, please.
He's perfect.
That man is perfect. He's great. I love him. He's awesome. Keep going, Pat. I want to see I want to see him have another match again at some point, whether it's a SummerSlam or a WrestleMania or whatever they want to do. He's over. The crowd loves him. I just keep going. It was amazing. That whole thing was amazing. And Stone Cold, man, thank you. That was great. Everybody involved, Vince, Austin, Theory, all you guys. It was awesome. So, yeah, that was a WrestleMania moment for sure.
Well done, sir. Well done with the
Yes.
recap. I loved the match. It was so entertaining. And I enjoyed the commentary from Michael Cole. He was so animated.
Yeah.
He was like, this is my best friend.
Yeah.
And when he did the back suplex from the top rope, you see Michael Cole like in the distance. He's up. He's like, cover him, Pat, cover him.
Oh,
like,
man.
oh,
I need to rewatch it to focus on Pat too, because I was focused on him in the ring.
Dude,
I wasn't even focusing on.
Oh,
I heard Michael Cole's voice, and I love the passion, but I didn't see him. So yeah, that's cool.
We was talking about that in the group thread, man. We was like, dude, Michael Cole is loving Pat McAfee. He was like, yes. He was just all about his best friend, man. And so even that added to the match too. But overall, I give this match A+.
Yeah. Byron too was great too, because he was telling him, he's like, I know you want to root for your boy, but the boss is sitting right there. Like, watch yourself. And then at the end, when Pat won, you hear Byron say, calm down, Michael, calm down. And then when Vince McMahon got up, he's like, yeah, Pat. It's just great. It was great, man. He said he could probably still hear you. Who, Mr. Party Pooper? Nick McMahon? Yeah, Pat.
Yeah, Michael Cole's on one.
Yeah, man, it was bro. Great. It was great. Oh, man. All right. So we are there. We are at that time. It's the time for the main event for WrestleMania 38.
Ooh.
The most stupendous two-night event.
Stupendous.
The unification match for the WWE and Universal Championships. The Beast Brock Lesnar versus the Tribal Chief, the head of the table, the needle mover, God Mode himself, Roman.
My imaginary two belts right here. You know the pose.
Y'all know what time it is. Devin, the floor is yours.
Yeah. You know what it is. You know I gotta play my music. You know. Tribal Chief. God Mode. There's only one champion in WWE. Only one singular champion. Undisputed. Tribal Chief. Roman Reigns, head of the motherfucking table. So before I go and talk about this match. All right. Full disclosure. I'm about to be real, sir, okay? You will understand why I'm about to be real, okay? All right. This match, this wrestling match for WrestleMania, the biggest match in wrestling or wrestling history, they say, was just okay. Was just okay. And the reason why it was just okay, because they took us on this amazing journey of this story. When the Tribal Chief laid it down from his perspective, saying like, I'm taking everything from Brock, and then from Brock's perspective, he wants Roman blood. The match we got was just like the same thing that we normally get in a Brock and Roman. It was nothing different. It was just finisher, which was cool, but I wanted you guys to slow it down, maybe bust up Roman because you said you wanted blood. So let's have that play into the factor of the match. All right, Tribal Chief, let me see some domination on Brock, and let commentary talk about it. Put him in a submission hold or something. Put him in like a leg submission, like something we never seen. Lock up with him. And we didn't get that. We just got a okay match, just by the numbers, very similar to what we normally get. And that's okay, but it wasn't what I expected because of the story they gave to me outside the ring that I didn't see it project inside the ring. So that's why, I'm sorry, sir, you do not get match of the night. The match that do get match of the night is the match we just talked about right before this match. It's Pat McAfee. He had match of the night. I give him for night 2, match of the night, sir, certified. It's crazy because, I didn't give two shits about you, sir. So for me, and it's on record. It's on record. I went in.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
It's
but
a huge
now
turnaround for you.
right. Just, I come, just a different perspective. I respect the man's work. Commentary, he's awesome, and he's a great wrestler. But back to the tribal chief, it was just they gave this amazing story outside the ring, and it didn't translate to the ring. It wasn't different. It was just the same old match. Yeah, I'm a tribal chief, Mark, but I am a realist, and I gotta be real. All right. That's why I'm the Tribal Chief podcast. I got to be real.
I respect it.
Yeah, man. It was okay. Now, what did I enjoy? I enjoy the celebration. You better believe it. Him, he said he called his shot. He had the celebration. He got the pin. You saw him carrying the titles like at the bottom of the stage. You see the pyro, and he's holding the titles like this. He looked like he just a new drug lord right now.
Yeah.
Like the new boss, like a new gangster. He's a new Scarface. He's like, look at this, bling, bling. I was like, ooh, that's hard. I'm like, screenshot. And then I'm sending you a screenshot. I'm like, my new screensaver. And then you just and then you text me right back, like, man,
I had to capture this moment.
I was like, holy shit.
I can't decide on which one of these shots is the best one. So I'm taking all this. Because this is a moment. This is a moment in history.
It was a lot of he's like this with the both of the titles. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of poses.
I think that's my favorite one, honestly. It was the one with him just like having both titles on both hands and like just like I'm king of the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God. And just I think that right there, iconic.
I think my favorite one, he just hold it right there.
That one too is
just so hard, man. That's like,
especially. I love when you can see. There's a picture that I have where you can see on the Universal Championship. There's his symbol on it, and then you see on the WWE Championship, you see Brock's. Yeah, and it's like he's holding both. Like he took Brock's, and he's got his still.
And he said
like,
some cold words too,
cool.
Because when Paul put the WWE Championship on him, he was like, "That's my baby now."
Right.
I was like, "Oh, that's cold blooded." That's cold blooded.
Too, because when he was holding the two championships, then he gave the WWE Championship to Paul, and then he was still holding the Universal Championship. And he was saying, like, this is my baby right here. Like, that's the OG one. That's the original one. So he's got both now. They're both his baby now. So that's
yeah. But it was an okay match. Scary moment. I don't know if he's injured because it was a moment in the match. I think Brock Lesnar had him in that arm submission. Yeah. And then you could tell in the pictures now that, I don't know if it was dislocated or something. Yeah. But he was telling Paul, it's like my shoulder. It's out. Yeah. Paul Heyman. He was like, my tribal chief. You can do this. You're the tribal chief.
Yep.
He was giving that man so much support.
Persevere.
That was entertaining, man. So I like that aspect, parts of the match. But, like I said, summing all up, it was just okay.
Interesting.
It was okay.
I love the match. I'm going to just say it. I loved the match from beginning to end. I thought, so from the beginning, there's just so much anticipation for this match for me. And just watching, these two guys finally collide was, I don't know, there was just a lot of energy and anticipation going into it. And then I was thinking about, like, wow, I can't believe I had said it while we were watching this. The last time they fought at WrestleMania, I said, I never want to see this match again. I never want to see these two fight again because that was terrible. Yeah. Like, I didn't like the match at all. And, Roman was a face. Brock was kind of in and out. We weren't sure, was he going to stick around or not? And even when he did stick around, or when he was champion, he would go away for a while and then come back when he wanted to. Like, he was part-time, but he was champion. It was like, what the? And you kept it on him, like, no, this is just, I don't care about any of these two dudes right now, man. Like, at that time, it was such a different time. Yeah. But now you have Brock Lesnar, this, cowboy, you're like happy, go lucky. Like, I'm enjoying myself. I'm enjoying every moment of this version of Brock. You got Roman Reigns in his bag, just at the height of his powers, confident as all
God
hell.
mode.
Like, I'm in God mode now. They do their entrances. And yeah, man, like Roman Reigns comes out first and he's just there. Like, it's just Roman. It's a Roman entrance, So it was awesome. It was epic. But then he gets on the mic. He says, WrestleMania, acknowledge me. And I'm like, oh, yes, let's go. And then here comes Brock, and Brock walks down. Of course, it's Brock. He's walking around the ring. I'm like, oh, shit, it's going down. And then Mike Rome says, and now we're about to do the biggest match in WrestleMania history. Introducing first. And he's starting to introduce Roman Reigns, and then you get Paul Heyman taking the mic away.
Give me that mic.
Like, it's been a while since I feel like he's done this. But he took the mic away, and he said, nah, I'm doing this. He announces Roman Reigns, the reigning, defending, undisputed Universal Champion. And it was just awesome. Like, seeing Paul Heyman get into it, I was like, yes, this is the perfect way to start this. And then Mike Rome gets the mic back, and he's about to announce Brock, and Brock takes the mic from him. He says,
sir.
No. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the man, the cowboy, who's going to beat your ass. The reigning, defending, undisputed. I said, oh, this is so perfect. I'm in. You guys are great. Then he said it. Crowd's going nuts. Let's go. You can see Brock. He's just having a good time. They lock up. They're going back and forth. And actually, they weren't even going back and forth. It was Brock. Brock was dominating in the beginning.
Yeah,
like Brock. No, actually, what set it up was Brock takes his gloves off. He unfastens his gloves. And you see Paul Heyman and Roman looking at him like,
the fuck?
What the fuck? What is he doing? And he's smiling like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, shit. Oh, my God. Like, okay, this is what we're doing. Cool. So then, Brock starts in. He's just dominating Roman Reigns, throwing him around. I'm like, the fuck is happening? If they have Brock just whoop Roman Reigns right now, man, I'm going to be shocked. Because I fully expected Roman Reigns to win. But there's a special thing about Brock Lesnar that you just kind of feel any match he's in, he can win. Yeah. So
I did gas when he did hit the F5.
But just his presence alone, man. Yeah. Like throughout that match, I was just like, I'm nervous. You know what I'm saying? Like, he made me nervous. So he's beating the hell out of Roman Reigns, and then Roman Reigns is outside. Paul Heyman, it's just the little storytelling bits. Brock sees Paul Heyman outside, and Paul Heyman looks at him, and he's scared. He jumps back. He's like, oh God. And then Paul Heyman off camera goes around to go check on Roman Reigns. Brock Lesnar sees him. He's like, what? So he goes out there, and then Paul Heyman sees him go, oh, no, God, no, please, look, I'm sorry, look, it was his idea. Take me back. I love you. I love you. I still love you. I said, oh, shit. And then here comes Roman with a spear through the barricade. And I think that's actually where he got hurt, because I watched it twice. And the second time around, that's when he actually started holding his shoulder, and the bruising happened before he did the Kimura. So his shoulder was fucked up, I think, from that spear right there.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So, he was like holding the arm when he got up from the rubble after that spear. So then there was the count out portion. Brock gets up, he gets in the ring. But kudos to Roman, because Roman then from that point didn't really sell that he had hurt his shoulder, which tells me it probably wasn't supposed to be an injury he was selling. But, he just keeps going. He goes to the match. He's doing the Superman. He does a spear, does the Superman punches, talking to the crowd. I told you. Ain't nobody going to be able to follow me after this. I told you. I'm the greatest of all time. And every time he does that, I'm just like, man, why didn't we get this earlier in his career? This is crazy. But thank God we're getting it now. So just enjoying that. Right. And then, Brock turns it around, starts taking him to Suplex City. Then he's looking at the crowd, and he's trying to count with them. 1. And then he does another suplex. 1 more. 2. 1 more. 3. He does 5 German suplexes. I'm like, oh my God. Like, what is going to happen in this match? What is going on? So then at that point, let's see. There was a spear attempt. Roman hits a spear later on. There was an F5 too. He kicks out. Yep. Roman hits a spear and then gets caught in the Kimura. And then, oh my God, like Roman couldn't move. He couldn't move at all. And I'm just like,
trying to reach for the rope.
They're not going to have him tap out, but this looks crazy. And Paul Heyman is there. And
with the assist.
With yeah. He puts his finger on the rope. And Roman grabs it. Right. Oh my God, it was so great. And actually, even before all that, the Brock makes a mistake, picks up Roman, and tries to do like a shoulder tackle into the corner, but the referee was there. So referee gets knocked out.
Yep.
And then Roman, one of his secret finishers is one of his patented moves, low blow from the back to Brock Lesnar. I'm like, oh, maybe we're ending it right here. Paul, he asks for the belt. He gets the belt from Paul Heyman, hits him with the belt. Then he tells him, get up, ref, get up. You know, the ref gets up, counts to 1, 2, Brock kicks out. Holy shit, what are we doing? What is happening here? So then fast forward again to the moment with the Kimura. He gets the rope with the assist from Paul Heyman. To your point, what you said about Paul Heyman saying, my tribal chief, please persevere, endure, and overcome this. Please, my tribal chief. I'm just like, oh my God. Brock Lesnar picks him up for the F5. Roman Reigns gets out of it. Spear. And actually earlier on, too, he did a spear in the back. And then he did a spear to the front to get him in the Kimura.
Just like Bobby to Omos.
Just like Bobby, same thing. Mm-hmm. So, but Brock put him up for the F5. He gets out of it. Spear, 1, 2, 3. I said, oh, he did it. He did it. Like, I was all in. I was invested. I was enjoying it. All the little story moments got me. And then you have the celebration, like you said. He's in the ring at first, and he gets the 2 belts. And just like he said, because he said he's a man of his word, he said, I'm gonna beat him, I'm gonna smash him, I'm gonna pin him 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna take the Universal title in one hand, the WWE title in another hand. I'm gonna raise it over my head in the ring over him, and he's gonna have to acknowledge me. And in the ring, he goes, he raises his arm up, and he does it. I'm like, yes. He goes outside. Same thing, does it. We talked about the poses, epic as hell. Did that, pyro going in the background, Brock Lesnar looking at the lights, being like, what the hell just happened? That's it. That's all she wrote. For me, it was just, maybe it was the mood I was in, like just having such a good time with this entire card that by the time this one happened, I was so hyped and I'm just into what they're giving me. And I guess I've been trained, like the way I took it was Brock Lesnar matches, they have that ability sometimes to end quickly, right? So I didn't feel safe at any time. I didn't feel like it was a lock that the match would go long. Drew McIntyre's match with Brock Lesnar went super short too. So I feel like with Brock, anytime he's in a matchup, that match does have that ability to go short. So now, anytime Brock is in a one-on-one match, I'm thinking this thing, it could be 5 minutes. It could be 50 minutes. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? I think even Corey Graves said that.
Yeah, he did.
He said it could be. You just never know. With Brock, you know. So for me, I looked at it more like, hey, at any point this thing could be over. And when Brock hit that F5, I was like, oh shit, are we gonna do this now? No, we didn't. Roman Reigns hit the spear. Is this gonna be over? No, it's not. He hit him with 3 or 4 spears in this matchup. He hit him one in the beginning. Yeah. Then he hit the one in the back.
3, I think.
Then he hit the one in the front, but he got turned into the Kimura. Yep. And then he hit one last one, and that's the one that finished Brock, along with 3 Superman punches. So I feel like for me, you know, and I respect your opinion and you wanted more, and that's totally cool. Like to get a longer, slower matchup, I think I understand. I just enjoyed the hell out of it for what it was, and I just felt on edge the entire time because both of these two dudes have the ability to finish a match at any point in time, especially Brock Lesnar matches. I just feel trained in that way by WWE and by Brock to know that, hey, if I'm having a match, y'all better not go take a bathroom break or nothing because this thing could be over like that.
Yeah, I think I just set my expectations too high, man. That's all it was. I was just so deep into the story that I was like, man, you're
in the majority. A lot of people feel the way you feel, but I enjoy it.
I was just so embedded into the story. I'm like, man, it's going to translate into this match. And when I see it, it didn't. It was just, you know, finisher, you know, and then pin. Like it was okay. It was okay to me because it was just
it only
I
went
seen
12
this
minutes as far as like the match time,
Yeah.
the match length itself. So to your point, like Edge and AJ went 24 minutes.
Had the
So
longest
that was
match.
double the time. Yeah. Johnny Knoxville, Sami Zayn went 14. The triple threat tag match went 11 minutes and 30 seconds. If we go back to night one, Bianca Belair's was 19 minutes long. Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch. Seth and Cody was 21 minutes.
Oh no, they did. Yeah, 21.
Yeah. Charlotte and Ronda went 18 minutes. That was Stone Cold went 13 minutes.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I'm thinking we're gonna get like maybe a John Cena Undertaker 3-minute match.
Yeah.
Like or when Rock came back for that
and 5-second
5-second match. But
that's what I thought.
Dude, we got damn near 14 minutes of Stone Cold and KO going at it.
Yeah, man. It was there were a lot of surprises on this whole 2-night event, man. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that main event, I feel like it is a little bit polarizing from what I've been hearing, but I watched it a second time and I feel like I even enjoyed it even more because I'm looking for more things too. It was fun. Like I would say check it out one more time, man. Check it out again. Just watch it again just to see some more nuances maybe if you didn't catch, or just I feel like you enjoying Roman Reigns the way you do, being able to watch him again and watching the little things. And I feel like I do give him a little bit more of a pass for that injury as well. Like, you don't want him being in there longer than he has to be.
I did say in the group thread, I'm like, it's still a nice win. Like, he beat Brock with one arm. That's how I took it. Like, he can take that to the grave if he wants. I'm surprised he didn't mention in the promo.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, man. It is what it is. Like, shout out to Roman for gutting it out through that injury, because seeing the social media post with his arm and just how swollen that spot got was crazy. Like the fact, and I was scared actually when I heard about it, because I didn't know that when it was happening. Like the first time around, I didn't even know he was injured, and I still enjoyed it. But then I saw the social media post. I was like, holy shit. And then I'm thinking, oh, fuck, don't tell me he has a dislocated shoulder, because we've seen it with Finn Balor. We've seen it with Karrion Kross. When they've won championships and they separated their shoulder, had an injury like that, they had to relinquish the titles. Please, no, don't do that, because we're just getting started with what Roman is trying to do with this character in his own words. I watched the Evil documentary, with him. I saw his episode, and it's funny because I was finishing it up through the commercial breaks of Raw tonight, and that was amazing. It was like a build up to that promo that they had at the end, like just seeing the journey, like people like talking shit and booing him, and even he came back from cancer and they were booing him again, like oh, you okay, you are in remission, you're healthy now, okay, we're gonna go back to booing this dude. And I'm like, wow, what? Because I remember even then I was like, I'm having a hard time booing Roman, me personally, at that time when he came back. But I'm hearing the crowd, I'm like, oh man, like he's getting stale already.
I think we mentioned that on a podcast before.
We talked about
I'm like, I think we talked about it. I'm like, when he came back, I'm like, it's cool, but I think it's not going to remain. I think it's going to go back to the booze for like in a few months, and it's crazy. Right. They started doing that.
You could feel it, man. You can feel it coming. You can feel it coming. When he beat Drew, it felt like, okay, Drew, it probably wasn't the right move to have him beat Drew, because it was his first match, in a while. And Drew was on fire. Yeah. So
it was the right move. It was just a short match, because I remember we broke that down for WrestleMania. Even for predictions,
I think we both predicted that Drew.
We predicted for Roman.
But I think we were saying that Drew should go over, but we're predicting Roman because it's Roman. Because
we thought it was just going to be like a tough match, like it would be like a tough loss that Drew would take. But it was only one spear.
I kind of want to go back and listen to that.
I thought it was like multiple spears. He would.
Because for me, I remember feeling like it felt like it would be wrong for Roman, who he's coming out of he's in remission and he hasn't wrestled in a while, and Drew just took out Dean Ambrose and just destroyed the Shield. Like, it would have been a better move for Drew to win. I can co-sign that you're saying we predicted Roman would win the match because it's WrestleMania. That's what they're going to do. They're not going to have a cancer survivor lose at WrestleMania. But it still felt like the ballsy / more logical prediction, or route for the story would have been for Drew at that time. And I think that's what, for me, made me say, like, oh, I think people are going to start turning on him again because we're going back to the same old thing. No matter what happens, Roman's going over. Doesn't matter what the story is or whatever, like, they're always going to pick Roman. So, but it was interesting seeing that. And then the progression and him saying, like, this is not a character. Like, I decided, like, I told them, this is what I'm doing. There wasn't a debate. This is what I'm doing. You know?
I was like, holy shit.
Right? And now to see where that journey has taken us with him being unified champion, and he's at Raw, and he's like, Paul Heyman lists down the accolades, and Paul Heyman's listing stats and facts and financials of why this man is the GOAT.
Loved it.
It was just, I just pictured you just was like
58% increase on Peacock subscribers from last year to date. I was like, bro,
yep,
loving this.
I knew it. I knew you were just gonna be loving that and just enjoying it, and I was too. I was like, yeah, man, speak on it. Like, it's just he's done a hell of a job, and you know, just shout out to Roman Reigns for everything he's done, with this character. Yes.
We the ones. Yeah.
Amen.
It had to be real, though. But you still my tribal chief. All right.
It's crazy that it feels like I just accepted and chose to enjoy a little bit more than you did. I wasn't expecting that, but I do respect it, though. You know, you felt what you felt, and that was cool.
Yeah.
Like, I looked at it from a different perspective, and you saw it the way you saw it, and it's cool. It's like both can be right, and it's fine. So
you know what's crazy? I shouldn't have set my expectations that high, because I didn't do it for that AJ Styles and Edge, and I heard that some people said that match felt flat because they expected more.
Really?
And yep. We had that in the group, and I think even shout out to JD, she even put that out there too as well, because they was doing their live stream with, shout out to Circle of Debate, the league. So, and I was able to tap in with them, but she mentioned that. But I understood that because I actually learned my lesson from when AJ Styles, with Shinsuke, and we had so high. My expectation was really high, and then when we got what we got, so I kind of learned my lesson from that. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna watch it for what it is for Edge and AJ. I enjoyed it. It was one of my favorite matches.
And like you said, you like that pacing. That pacing is like your preference, versus maybe some people were expecting a faster paced match because it's AJ, and thinking about Edge, like old school Edge would wrestle a faster pace, whereas this new school Edge is more methodical a little bit.
Slow it down.
Yeah. So it's a stylistic thing too, but I thought it was fine. I enjoyed it a lot, especially given the way AJ came down. I was creating all sorts of stories for why he was bleeding. So,
dude, I was like, bro, they were scrapping.
Oh, man. But, hey, we are at that time. We went through the entire 2 nights to end this event that was WrestleMania 38. So at this point in the show, this is the time where we give our grades overall. So I'll go first with this one. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I thought it was an amazing show overall. I said it in the beginning, if you couldn't tell from the way I opened it all up, it was a fun event. I had a lot of fun watching the show. Were there some downs? Yes, there were a couple downs here and there, but it didn't overwhelm the ups for me. And there were a lot of things for me where I just enjoyed the hell out of it. So for me, man, I'm giving it an A. This is one of my favorite WrestleManias overall, like, period. This is up there for me with how much I enjoyed X7. Like, that's just how I feel about it. Like 17, Rock Austin was my favorite. Me and my brother agree. That's like the match, like favorite match probably of all time is that match. And this pay-per-view, this WrestleMania, I just enjoyed the hell out of it. And to your point, it took me back, so much with Stone Cold showing up. He showed up for 2 nights. He gave us a match in 2022. Like, oh my God, Vince McMahon, like, coming out and having a match, Pat McAfee stealing the show, you know what I'm saying? And then just my match of the entire weekend actually was Becky and Bianca. That, to me, as a match, like, I felt like they just killed it. Like, the crowd was super hyped into it. They were there for it. I was there for it. Just the story that they were telling during the matchup was awesome. And just Bianca, the way that she finished it, that finisher was clean. The KOD. It's just there's so many moments that just won it for me. Close was Cody and Seth because of Cody's return. That to me was like, oh my God. Like, the only thing is the Bianca and Becky one was for the championship. Like, that one had the belt on the line. Had Cody and Seth been for a championship, maybe that would have heightened it a little bit more for me. But it was more about, holy shit, Cody's there, and I'm still processing that shit. So for me, like, that's like kind of in its own category a little bit. Whereas as a match, like as a beginning to end match with the stakes on the line, I felt like the best overall match for me was Becky versus Bianca, and Bianca coming out on top, becoming the new Raw Women's Champion. But overall, I give the show an A. It was great. And yes, the Tribal Chief, new unified champion, great, wonderful, stupendous moment seeing him with both championships. Well deserved. Yes. So A for me.
Oh, so it was stupendous for you then, right?
Yeah. It was definitely stupendous. They earned it.
And I will co-sign with that. It was very stupendous. I would give it a solid A as well. Not an A plus, not A minus, but an A because I had a lot of fun. Just like to your point, man, had a lot of fun. Couple of down moments within the wrestling, but not too down because like the next match would just pull you right back in. So I enjoyed it, man. Like I said, the Tribal Chief, Brock Lesnar, it fell flat to me, but I enjoyed the post-match celebration, just seeing the Tribal Chief carrying both titles, making a statement, screen saver worthy right there. So I enjoyed that. The triple threat match and the tag team for night 2 kicked it off for RK Bro, American Alpha, shush, and everybody. Love that. Street Profits.
That match. Oh, so
yes, great. Yes. Had a lot of fun. Definitely had fun with Johnny Knoxville. Sami Zayn match, comedy match that we got. It was very entertaining. Man, it was just an all-out good time, man. It was WrestleMania. It was a variety show. So it was like they put a little bit of everything for everybody. So if you like wrestling, you got wrestling like with AJ Styles and Edge, or with the women with Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair. If you like, big megastars, heavyweights, you got that with Brock and Roman. Or if you like comedy matches, like celebrity matches, you got Miz, Paul Logan. Hey, who knew? Who knew Paul Logan could work?
Logan Paul did his thing, yeah.
Right. Or Logan Paul. I'm sorry, not Paul Logan. Logan Paul. Yeah, man. But yeah, it was a fun one of the best WrestleManias, man. I'll put it up there. It's top notch.
Yeah.
Who knew? Vince McMahon, man, you're weird in 2022. You're weird. You're weird. Stop it. But don't stop it.
But don't stop it. Don't stop it, man. Oh, man, that's awesome. Well, that is going to do it for this recap episode of WrestleMania 38, the most stupendous two-night event of all time. See if WrestleMania Hollywood can live up to those standards in a year's time from now. Hopefully they can. But this one definitely was stupendous. So shout out to WWE for putting on an awesome, stupendous show. But with that said, that does it. So before we go, as always, you know what time it is. Devin.
Yes.
Tell the people, please, sir, tell the people where they can catch us.
Yes. All the time. I'm going to let the people know where you can follow us. We got a whole bunch of social medias like Twitter, TikTok. We got the Facebook group community. Let me shout them out again because they brought it. It was the most stupendous discussion thread in the Facebook Clark Street community. So go look for it, search for it, join, hit that join. We will let you in. We will embrace you with open arms. If you're just a fan of wrestling, a fan of sports entertainment, it doesn't matter. We will embrace you. AEW, MLW, Impact, it don't matter. Whatever floats your boat. Just come on in. We're going to have some fun, all right? And all of our episodes are an audio platform, and we got season 3 and currently season 4 on video platform as well on our website, ClarkStreetWrestling.com, ST for the abbreviation. We have all of our merch as well.
Get your merch.
Like this lovely shirt. Look at this shirt, all right? And if you're down there in Dallas, you had a good time. If you had a stupendous time in Dallas, get your beach towels. Get your ass off that hot ass sand and get these stupendous beach towels from Clark Street. ClarkStreetWrestling.com/store. Now, I will make this announcement. All right. let the listeners know, let the people know. We're going to be taking the hibernation. It's going to be our last episode for a while. It's very good reasons. My good co-hosts know. It's very good. Nothing to worry about, people. Nothing. I'm telling you, it's nothing. Very good stuff. Why we got to take a pause. But in the meantime, we have over 250 episodes in the library, all right? From all we got about 4 WrestleManias on there. So you can do a little WrestleMania binge of how we predict. When I made a future prediction, I said the Tribal Chief would carry the Universal title into next WrestleMania. I called it. I called my shot. All right, we got rants in there from me, from Pat McAfee. All right, we got debates, heated debates, passionate debates between me, the Messiah podcast, to me, the Tribal Chief podcast about Johnny Gargano and Adam Cole. Yes, passionate debates. Over 250 episodes on the Clark Street Wrestling website, clarkstreetwrestling.com, ST for the abbreviation. For your pleasure. It is decided.
Yes. And with that said, that is going to do it once again for this recap of the most stupendous night event in WrestleMania history. WrestleMania 38. It's in the books. So, for Devin, I'm Hafiz. We'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening to the Clark Street Wrestling Podcast. We see you on the other side. Let's go. It was stupendous. Tribal Chief, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Tribal Chief. So good debate. Once we done with hibernating, debate coming soon. You understand? Once we come done hibernating, it's gonna come. The L is on the way. We're gonna be coming, having both titles. Conquering. Debate coming soon.
Yes.